T-minus 30 seconds.
Oh my god. Hypnotic tequila.
T-minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Que digan lo que quieran de mí. Tú no crees que yo sé que tú hablas de mí. Que me envidia y tiene lo malo para mí. Que digan lo que quieran de mí. Que digan lo que quieran de mí. Tú no crees que yo sé que hablan de mí. Que me envidia y tiene lo malo para mí. Que digan lo que quieran de mí. Y con mi manera nadie me controla y por tanto yo voy a cambiar. Me gusta la calle, explotó todo el dinero vacío y no paro de rumbear. Pero nadie me puede sin a mí. Pa' eso luché, lo sudé y me jodí. De dónde lo saqué y en qué lo gasté. ¿Qué carajo te importa eso a ti? Que rumbeando y viajando siempre disfrutando de esta vida corta que se está acabando. Los buenos momentos son los recuerdos con lo que te va a quedar. Porque nada de lo material cuando te mueras te va a llevar. Siempre van a hablar, pero no importa. La gente siempre va a hablar. Que digan lo que quieran de mí. Tú no crees que yo sé que tú hablas de mí. Que me envidia y tiene lo malo para mí. Que digan lo que quieran de mí. Que digan lo que quieran de mí. Tú no crees que yo sé que tú hablas de mí. Que me envidia y tiene lo malo para mí. Que digan lo que quieran de mí. Mambo, Chinchenia.
What's going on, RGV? It is an honor to be here with you again. It's been a little bit of a rough 4 weeks because guess what? We took a break. We ended season number 2, but we're back for season number 4. And today you're watching the premiere for Aquí Entre Nos 956 Live with the entire new cast that I cannot wait for you to meet. We're going to introduce them. Nobody's here yet, but we're going to bring them out because I have to say that these individuals have the courage and the conviction to take on these microphones and leave their entire life, like say fuck it, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna speak my truth, be myself, not giving any fuck what anybody out there. There was the first fuck of the night is willing to think about us or judge us or point fingers at us, because we're already used to those fingers being pointed at us. So without further ado, I do want to say that the question that I want to ask everybody, how have you evolved, is in season 2. And for those that are new here to Aquí Entre Nos, I want to see what they expect to get out of their first season here. I am thrilled to share this entire show with you because we have so many great topics that our creative producer, Jamilis Lopez, thought very critically about them. And she created, along with Lorena, this list of topics that are impressive, because these are things that happen day-to-day basis. But of course, we never like to share what happens behind closed doors at home. But today we start talking about what we don't talk about. We pretend we do a lot with our smiles, and behind that smile, a lot hides behind it. So mine hasn't really grown in in a high level, besides that I got pretty sick, so I had to take like about a week off, and then other shady shit happened, but I don't want to talk about that just yet. But at this point, I'm gonna bring out our first cast member, which is Mr. Josh Moroles. Let's give him a round of applause.
Joe, good to see you.
What's up, dude? What's been live like?
Oh, when was the last time we had the show?
It was I think the last week of December.
Last week of December. So since December to January to February, we're in February,
Shit.
2025.
Oh, 2 months. Okay.
Just saying how fast time passes. Since then, we got into the new nonprofit, right?
Yeah.
So we got into a new place in San Juan. We're having the one in Alamo open up, which is next week. We have a place in McAllen, and we figured out that we helped 750 families last year. So we plan on doubling that, and then doubling it again throughout the year. And then since then, also, I've created AI solutions for businesses across the Rio Grande Valley. I'm a huge proponent for AI. Nobody really likes to use it because they think it's going to take over everybody's job. But I feel that the people that start implementing that stuff, learning it, because it is the future, it's just going to happen. And you need to learn these things and these skills that will help you evolve. So
I mean, it is true. If you just take the courage, the leap of faith to transition and let a mind of its own handle whatever you've been trying to do and you're just stuck trying to do it, please, it's going to change your life. Because even to me, I'm like, fuck no, I don't want to give into that. And then I give it a try. I'm like, wow, did it really just create that, by itself?
like that.
Yeah,
It's
instantly.
insane.
Yeah.
I feel like the people that don't adapt will die. And that's the problem a lot of people have is like they like things to stay the way it is because it always has worked. That's a very antiquated way of thinking. And if you think that way, you're never going to progress and never going to learn a new stuff. Never try and break things. And you have to break things. Like that's just how the world works.
I like breaking things.
So do I.
So I know, I know that so you had you have your podcast,
Right.
and which is how you go, and I recruited you for Entre Nos, and because I liked your ability to just say those things that no one wants to say. But so you already kind of had that, but I think Entre Nos just really put you out there. I know our last episode, I got phone calls the next day and was like, "Hey, Josh was amazing. You got to bring it back." I mean, he just went out there and talk all.
Heard that I danced pretty good.
You danced amazing. We danced the whole cumbia. People wanted
I
to
think
contract
people
us.
just lied to me. Whatever.
They were like, "Hey, you and Josh and network community." I'm like, "No, we're not doing quinceañeras right now. Maybe next year."
That was the first time I drank that whole, I think, season, and I actually drank quite a bit that day.
Well, everybody loved it. We loved you. That's why I gave you shots, and we want to give you more shots right now too.
Well, we'll tell you this: Saturday I drank some tequila, and I'm still have a hangover to today. So it's Thursday, so I don't recover as
Dude, and you're only 28. What the fuck?
43, man.
Shit. Okay. So have you, how did Aqui Nos affect you, positively or negatively, out there in the community?
I think in both ways because it allows me to share my thoughts with people that I've never met before, and also at the same time, people say things like, "What can you do?" Like people are gonna say stuff, they're gonna talk shit, or they're gonna like you. So I figured out that the only way to grow your audience, the only way to grow your publicity, your popularity, is to have a polarizing view on the world, and
That's what's up.
that's the way you do it. Like people try and have this great thing on social media and they're always acting the part, always buttoned up, and they figure out why they never grow. Well, the reason why you don't grow is because you're not polarizing.
I have to say, the comfort zone, it's a beautiful place, but guess what? Nothing fucking grows there.
And
So-
people like to be entertained.
They do, and that's why that's where we come into pictures, because a lot of times we want to play it safe and we want to say something and we're biting our fucking tongue and we're like, "I want to tell you your husband's cheating on you," and it's like, I'm like, I was in a fucking orgy with him. I saw him, and it's like, oh, you don't want to say it first up, and you find him on Grindr, and you don't want to believe me. That's on you, dude. But
By the way, he's not talking about me, okay?
no, he's not gay. I'm talking about another friend of mine. So I am glad that you're back on it, honestly, and I hope you stay for as long as possible because season 4 will be also a great one. Dude, honestly, you mesh well with anyone just like me, and you're out there doing great things. So of course, I love collaborating with people like you.
Appreciate that. Thank you very much, my friend.
Well, guys, at this point, I'm gonna bring out our casting director who played a vital role in this particular season. She helped me a ton because honestly, when I tell you that we took this whole 2 months off, I really did because I needed to focus at home with my kids. And at this point, let's call over Mara Sanchez. Hi, my love. How have you been? You look super sexy.
Thank you.
Do men want you out there?
All of them.
All of them.
So a little secret. I went as an investigator and sat in the toilet of the golf tournament for the Women's Chamber of Commerce. And while I was in the toilet doing the deed, I was like really venting with the toilet because I was sick. So I was taking antibiotics. So I was releasing a lot of toxins. And while I was doing that, men were just coming in. They're talking all these crazy stuff. Like, man, I love her. Like, I really want to hit that, but she won't let me. And I was like, is
I
that
wonder
Viagra?
what they were talking about.
So I have to say, I heard nothing but positive things about you. At the end of the day, we all want to be wanted.
Of course.
So, I'm glad that you're making them just, stay out there. Yeah.
And you know what? I'm not even seeking validation. I have a lot of self-love.
I love that.
Of course.
But it's a good way because at this point, I think we're at a point in life where you have to just appreciate who you are, what God gave you, what Mother Nature has provided you with. And if someone isn't willing to appreciate that or it hasn't given the time to, really embrace that gift, fuck them.
You know, I've done a lot of self-work. I feel that that never ends, right? We'll never stop working on ourselves, never stop healing. But I think that when you reach a point where you understand that other people's, value of you or thoughts of you has nothing to do with you, it's internal. So then you see them with a very different eye. You see them and you're like, wow, you have a lot of work to do. You have a lot of things you need to fix. You need to love yourself a little more. You don't even hold that against them anymore.
No.
And the reason why is because people grow at different points. Like
Exactly.
they don't usually grow together. They grow at different points, and which is, I mean, that's
And
sometimes how life.
say, right, sometimes when you outgrow people, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. You're just outgrowing. You're not at the same level at times.
And I think every now and then it's good for you to just cleanse your life. Like I did. I feel like a dick. I feel like Chucky because at the end of the year, the last week of the year, I said to myself, there's people that are in my life to take away from me. And they are fucking parasites. They fucking do anything but just grab you. If there's something that Joe could give you, they're gonna fucking only call you whenever they need something, an event, something. Joe, come over here. But when the fuck does Joe need something from you?
Yeah.
So I'm not even kidding, at least that I can count 10 individuals that I had in my life and were only just there taking up space. And I think that living now, 2 months without them, I even noticed my life like moving forward in a less problematic way because I would take their problems, even though they weren't mine. So I think just knowing your worth and knowing who to just part ways with is something pretty significant that a lot more people should really take into action.
Yeah.
Well, let's go ahead and call our fourth cast member. And she's new to the Aquí Entre Nos cast. She's a different individual that I'm excited to see with us. Leila Garza Canales coming out here.
More cowbell, baby.
I'm thrilled that you're here, my friend. How are you feeling?
So nervous.
Why?
Super nervous. I haven't done this since I was in high school as a cheerleader and in front of the crowd. So this is something very new to me. So yeah,
So doing it now,
so I'm excited.
doing it now, years later, like in our 20s. How do you think it's different?
I think everything's different, Joe. Like I think overall, like every stage, I guess every 10 years you go through a different stage in your life. And I'm in the 40s, FYI guys. I'm in the 40 stage and back then I say, oh my God, imagine when I'm 40. Oh my God, like life is over. No, I think life has its way of kind of like evolving.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm at right now, like evolving, like, so it's good. It's not what I thought was gonna happen, but that's life, I guess.
Well, you watched the show before, but it's your
Yes.
first time on the show. What do you expect from the show?
I don't know. I think honestly, more than anything, is the community is, um, I mean, I've been out of work for a while, so I really need this. Like for me personally, I think just being a part of something, for so long, my work people were my people. So y'all are my people right now. So I really appreciate this opportunity and I want to thank you and the cast. I love you guys. It's gonna be a great few weeks that we're gonna be around each other, and I'm thankful. I'm just thankful for this because just learning from everyone. So learning from everyone and stuff. So yeah.
Well, thank you for making the time to participate again. Their nose. I think as a full time mom and your husband. I'm sure they're at home watching the show. I'm hoping they are.
He's in Austin, but yeah, I hope he's at work because he works night shift now.
Oh,
So
shit,
I hope
okay.
he's at work watching.
Adrian, you better tune in.
Que no te pesquen. No, but yeah.
Uh, well, we are thrilled to have you here. I think you're a great component because I have to say that shit every time that this girl calls me and is like, "Hey, come visit me," I will go. I will fucking go visit her, and we're there for hours because she keep up with me.
It's never a dull moment.
It's never we vibe really well.
Okay.
And so she's an amazing person, and I think she fits quite in. All right, so just go ahead and call over our host for today. I was leaving her to she was a little ready. She looks really ready right now. She's covering a pretty big topic that a lot of us are or have been a victim of because, as you know, this season in particular talks about love, and love isn't always something pretty. Although we say we love it, but do you really love it or do you lust it? That's the one question. And today's topic is going to be a good one. So without further ado, Alejandra La Manzanita, come on over. We should have put music for an intro. We thought about it.
Hello.
Okay.
Which one was which one was Joshua's?
Yeah, which one was mine?
Hey Mickey, you're so fine.
You're so fine, you blow my mind.
Um,
Hello.
welcome to the show. Welcome. How do you feel?
I am excited. I'm a little bit nervous, but it's normal. I mean, I have very much love and passion for the microphone. Yo hablo mucho español, a lo mejor la voz en español la reconocen un poquito o a lo mejor en pantalla. Soy una locutora de aquí del Mágico Valle de Texas, bueno, ex locutora porque ya no estoy en la radio. Y me encanta, yo estoy muy emocionada. I was supposed to be on season 1, FYI, before somebody here
Drama.
throws it out there.
I wasn't
but-
gonna.
Ya te gané, ni modo. So, but for some reasons, personal reasons, I wasn't able to join. But I'm here now, and I'm excited, and I'm good.
Well, I think that what's destined to happen will happen. You really can't fight purpose.
Yes.
And season one was good. We were all fresh. We were all green. We took that photo shoot, and we didn't even know what the fuck was gonna happen. But a whole year later, here we are. And I am proud to say that the show has grown so much. It's been so structured and restructured, and now we're taking life by the horns. And we're just fucking it.
And
We're
you know
fucking
what?
life
¿Sabes qué? Yes, we are. We really are.
without a condom.
Raw. Raw.
No sabré decirte. Oye, pero you know what the good thing about this is that I entered in a very good time. I'm centered. I've been working on myself since the last time we talked. I met you in the chamber of McAllen Chamber. This was 2 years ago when I still used to work in a car dealership. I no longer work there, and I'm just doing me, living life, enjoying life.
Talking about that, the mechanic chamber doesn't pay me any endorsement fees, and also they don't advertise here, so don't register with them. But do register with the RG Women's Chamber of Commerce because I'm the vice president of memberships. That's about it. Anyways, so on that note, how I know that's how good I am whenever you pay me. But so are you a gaslighter, like a perpetrator, or do you are you?
The topic of the day is gaslighting. Gaslighting, the importance of mental health, and you know how it's important for you to get out of that. ¿Cómo se dice? Que te bajes de la rueda de la fortuna.
Okay. So thank you for our production to that. So I'm gonna just go ahead and bring out our last two guests because honestly, I not guests, our host because I can
Yeah.
by choice, and I get critique. You wouldn't believe how much, or having the podcast with the most people on it. So for all you that don't agree with this, fuck you. It's my show, so
Don't be haters.
I
We're
know.
doing it, and you're not.
And I'll go to 10 if I want to. Edgar, come on over, and Lorena, please.
That's my coach. Ah.
This right here, guys, we're family. We're family, and without each one of these individuals, I mean, Aquí Entre Nos wouldn't be Aquí Entre Nos. We're missing with us Yara because we couldn't move forward with one of our initial cast members. So we did a little bit of rebranding and we brought on board Yara Valdez, who couldn't be with us today. But because honestly, the recasting happened so quickly, we did all that within a matter of last weekend, and she couldn't fix her schedule to be here with us today. But you guys are gonna love her. She has a lot to say about love and lust. So I think you guys are gonna meet her.
Wait, you
So-
said last or lust?
Lust.
Oh,
I forgot what I said on it. I confuse them so much. Who does the night to
¿Qué
fuck?
estás tomando? ¿Qué estás tomando? Queremos-
Oh, so I'm actually drinking a drink from the oak that you can only get at the oak. Um,
Ay,
I-
el mío está en la barra.
El mío tiene lo que es es mitad tequila, mitad hypnotic, and then a splash of pineapple.
pineapple juice.
Oye, ¿y esos dónde estaban? A mí nunca me
Little
ofrecieron.
splash.
Esos son los especiales, son los Fridays y Saturdays.
Ah,
Yes, and so
Winter Texan specials, esos son los que hacen ellos.
we do have
Muchas gracias.
de la-
we do have a tequila bottle going around.
Yeah.
So every time that you see and we'll pitch it because she luckily she made us the honor of bringing it because I couldn't leave once I got here. So we'll pitch in for you for your bottle.
No.
And thank you for getting us fucked up.
La peda is on me.
Eso. Me encantó.
Bueno, ya escucharon, ¿verdad?
Hey, they already have your location too, right? So you're all set.
Yeah, she said already.
Hey, yeah.
Las seasoned, acá ya los tomamos cuarentonas. Las cuarentonas.
Cuarentonas here.
Ustedes babies, no más. No.
Well, I hope
Yo tengo 18. A mí no me son saquen, por favor.
guys, I hope everybody enjoys the show. Please don't take anything offensive. If you do, fucking change the channel. I don't want people like you on my feed because you know what? Whether you like it or share it, I don't give a fuck. Because as long as you're watching it, that's what pays us, okay? So I don't care if you're liking it, but like giving it the actual like. So on top of that, please keep in mind that whatever comments we say individually represent who we are individually, not who as a cast. And whatever happens at Entre Nos stays at Entre Nos. No one else knows about it. Just whoever's watching.
And the
But-
entire internet.
It's gonna be our little secret. All
It's
these
behind
eight,
the
and then
scenes
me and
that
you,
secret.
whoever's watching on the camera.
But I strongly suggest for you to watch it because I guarantee you that at least 20 some of y'all out there have gone through one of the topics that will be discussed on these episodes.
No, not only 20. I think everybody, because the topics that we're going to discuss today, which is, like I mentioned, gaslighting, the importance of mental health, and el último se me olvida. Que es cómo te puedes salir de esa relación y lo importante que es salirte de una relación tóxica. Se me acaba el
Ahora en
inglés.
inglés, ahora en inglés.
Amiga, pero
Se me acaba el inglés, amigo.
so
Yo no
I have a
hablo.
question before you take on the
Okay,
show.
go for it.
Is everybody happy in their marriage here?
No.
I'm
Oh,
not
I mean,
married,
personally,
so
yes. Ah,
Hola, mira. That was too fast for me. I don't believe it.
Your face was
I answered that too fast.
Just you
With
four that
myself.
are married.
Okay, so who's married in the room? Raise up your hand.
Married right here.
I think I'm married. I don't know.
No shit.
They married me. I'm waiting.
Yes.
I'm serious.
Without my will.
For real, without my
A
will.
lot of people are. I have never been.
I'm
to
like
that.
you. My husband's not here either.
mine is here.
So it's kind of like you're by yourself, but not by yourself. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
No, I lived that for a long time in my life, and it
Yeah,
it
I
works.
think so.
It could work towards your benefit, or it could become a challenge whenever
I
you
think
know,
I'm in a
Yes,
relationship. I think.
think-
I don't
think-
know.
Yes, no.
como dicen, the honeymoon stage of that. I'm
Yeah.
very thankful, and I'm, you know, when my husband watches this, I'm very thankful for him sacrificing.
Oh.
Voy a llorar. But it's the truth, ¿verdad? Porque pues
But that.
estás viviendo con alguien todos los días.
It's a very complex question
Yeah.
because the longer you are married, you love a person differently
Yeah.
than they are.
Yes, love changes.
Yeah, it changes.
It doesn't stay the same.
Teach me.
You just gotta go through that shit.
Oh,
bro.
I'm good.
like I'm just wondering like
you guys get older or because you
You-
guys
get
go through
bored?
different experiences?
If the life experience of the
connection.
units,
Yeah.
you go through different things, especially you had kids. Like if you had kids and you're together for a long period of time, you go through things that most people will never go through, and you build a bond that most people will never have.
So maybe it's another topic, but I'll tell you something. I appreciate my husband more now than ever, but he's away, right? But I appreciate him because I don't know, he's not here. So when he's here, you appreciate it.
yeah, because
Yes.
like you fuck him and you're like yeah.
There's like something behind that, you know. I don't know.
It's because, well, when he's away, you miss him. So then when he comes,
Todos los días, todos los días, todos los
yeah,
días.
see, me, I had to go through that change recently. He got his permit to work here in the United States a year ago, and he left a year ago. But before that, we were together for 3 years, living together. And yeah, we would argue, you know, I left a cup in the table and he's like, why is that cup on the table? And I'm like, leave it there because I put it there. Like things like that. But it's little like bickering that
And
you have to adapt.
that's why I asked the question because So obviously, you know me, and if you're one of my friends, you know that I call you and ask you the most random shit. They're like, "Why is you asking that in the middle of the night?"
But
About
see,
worse.
Yes.
let's go back a little bit. You asked the first question if I am a gaslighter, and the
Yeah.
answer to that is yes. I am a professional gaslighter.
Hey, what's a
I do it
gaslighter?
professionally.
Define it porque I had to Google.
Yeah,
I'm
what's a
gonna tell you
gaslighter?
what a gaslighter is. To like, I'm gonna simplify it for you. I googled it. Right now, I'm going blank, but I'm gonna tell you like with my own words. Oh yeah, you're gonna tell you. Yeah, Lorena's gonna say this is psychological. I'm gonna tell you what I know what gaslighting is. Gaslighting is when somebody makes you feel a certain way, but by how they treated you. So they push your buttons, and then you react, and then they're like, "Oh my God, why are you treating me so bad?" And you're like, "Dude, you're triggering me. You're the one that's coming at me." And then that's gaslighting. That's gaslighting for me.
The definition is somebody that denies you your emotions and your reality.
Exactly.
I'll
Good.
show you
I
one
like it.
spot
Thank
behind
you.
you.
Yes, I know. I was like,
So,
I'm the only
Lore,
Your chat GPT.
It's a
Oh, me too.
no, that's not Chat GPT. That's brain.
that's intelligence, real intelligence.
It's intelligence.
Zero intelligence.
That's
It's actually a psychological manipulation tactic that is used so you can it messes with your memory and it messes with your reality and it just messes with a lot of things.
so I'm
So it's not a
gonna
good thing.
I'm gonna
It's
further
more-
I'm gonna
So it's
further
not
my
me.
answer.
It's not just I mean it's a form of manipulation. It's a form of abuse. And so when people
I
gaslight, they do it on purpose.
I know. Honestly,
Yeah.
gaslighting was like, "Hey, mija, te miras bien buenota. Es todo, mamona."
No.
No, that's love
No.
bombing.
So like gaslight.
That is what?
There was like the
Love
gaslight club on 10th Street.
Love bomb.
Love bombing. Yes.
That was back in the day.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's a good thing to be a gaslighter.
Okay.
Bombing.
So why am I a
Love bombing,
professional?
what you said.
Why am I a professional gaslighter? Because I've lived it. They've already done it to me, and I already know how to identify it, and yo ya te la aplico, mijo. No me vas a venir a hacer coco wash porque ya me han hecho tanto coco wash a mí que yo ya te lo puedo aplicar a ti, mi niño. Entonces,
Pero qué cocos se lavan, digo. Ah, no.
ay, tú. Okay, so like, what I'm gonna, es que quiero hablar de mis experiencias, oiga, pero no me voy a poner a llorar porque yo ya no lloro.
Habla de eso.
Ya no quiero llorar. Bueno, no puedo llorar porque ya lo he platicado mucho tiempo, entonces eso ya está sanado. Ahorita estoy felizmente casada, tengo un hijo de 7 años, pero cuando yo estaba chiquilla, te estoy hablando de unos 18 años. Bueno, no, I'm gonna go all the way back. Dude, we grew up watching telenovelas. You remember watching
Like
telenovelas?
which one?
Mariada la del barrio.
Amigos y rivales. Amigos y
Todas las novelas que tú quieras. They all use gaslighting. Cuando la mala se hace de que, ay, es que me estás, como el meme de Facebook, de, ay, es que estoy muy triste,
la
but in their back of their mind, they're like smiling, like, it's like, that's what it is. Crecimos viendo novelas, crecimos viendo eso, entonces, y también con nuestros papás. Mande.
Dude, we're talking about novelas. When I used to watch them, it was so weird because people were like, "Ay, yo quiero ser la que rescata," and I was like, "Fuck, I want to be the villain."
Sí, es que
I wanted to be the villain.
the villains had the wardrobe, dude, the personality, the wardrobe, like they had all of that. So,
Ey, la musiquita de fondo. Tin, 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 de suspenso. Y yo, ¡a la verga! No, okay.
por las escaleras.
Sí.
So do you use gaslighting as a coping mechanism?
Yes,
That's-
you learn it. You learn it because you start identifying, and then you start thinking like, okay, I'm gonna go back. When I was 18, my parents got divorced. I had a very toxic relationship which was my first toxic relationship. That person, I'm shaking. That person cheated on me with like 6
Don't be
different
embarrassed.
women
That's not
because era un bailarín de quinceañera. No anden con bailarines de quinceañeras porque
Don't talk about my
ni
homeboy.
modo, Edgar. Y ni modo.
Oye, entonces, bailarín del tubo, sí.
Bailarín de, no, era bailarín de quinceañeras. me
Wait,
enseñó.
why didn't you strip?
¿Eh?
I'm gonna keep my mouth quiet. on that
No,
one.
yo no, güey. Uno de mis ex.
Oh,
Yo les voy a decir una cosa. Yo soy la que más va a hablar de los exnovios porque tengo varios y tengo muchas experiencias en donde, pues sí, me hicieron mucho coco wash.
Mira,
a ver si tengo varios. I'm like, wow, please. Like,
No,
te pregunto.
tuve varios, mande.
Tú cuando lo haces gaslighting, ¿verdad? Cuando lo haces a
Sabiendo que lo estoy
propósito,
haciendo,
sabiendo
sí.
en lo
Y te
subconsciente.
voy a decir un ejemplo. Me tratan mal o me quieren voltear algo y yo así que, pero es que ¿por qué no te das cuenta que me estás lastimando con las palabras que me estás diciendo?
I've seen it live.
Pero te digo
I've seen it
algo,
live.
o sea, yo ya sé que estoy empujando los botones correctos para hacer que esa persona me trate mal, para yo actuar como la, ay, no, es que...
But that's a form of manipulation.
Por
Well, you
eso,
see,
pues that's gaslighting.
and that's where
Right. But so what you're saying is you're comfortable with being a manipulator.
that's
sé.
some fucking pinky and brain shit, honestly. Like,
She's one step ahead of the game. She
Sí,
already.
yeah.
I mean, but
ya
you have
tengo
to-
escuela,
you
ya
have
tengo
to
escuela.
admit, though, right? When you go through these things, you can't.
I'm not
help it
saying
but
it's
know them
right.
already.
I'm not saying
That
it's
makes you do crazy things, and a lot of times it takes that to work.
Certain things, right? And it's kind of hard not to.
And see, when you
It
meet
sounds
the
like you're
healthy,
protecting yourself, not gaslighting.
bueno, sí. A lo mejor sí.
Well, the thing is, so I called one of my close friends, right? And she doesn't watch the show because she says that I'm crazy. And I don't know, fuck y'all, I'm not gonna watch. Whenever you do have a show, if you ever have a show, I won't watch it either. But and she said, but Joe,
Crazy? She's not crazy.
I was like, here's the deal. Like she's like, Joe, I think gaslighting is part of all marriages. And she goes, you have to find a way. Yeah, about relationships. Because she told me that basically at some point you have to explode a little bit so you don't have that huge explosion that is bound to happen if you don't release that passive digressive. And I say digressive because I think it's like a lot less than being aggressive. Well, I know that that's the right terminology, right? But if you're passive digressive, it's actually it's a term used. Digressive because you're being basically passive aggressive, but in a lot less of an aggressive way, like gaslighting, without making a whole boom. So everyone experiences that in marriage or in relationships, so that you don't have the big explosion eventually.
say that. So marriages would be like there's a lot of manipulation.
Yes,
Is that what you're trying to say?
not mine. That's what my friend said.
Relationships, period. It can be friendships.
Es,
family,
yeah, because gaslighting can
marriage.
happen in any
It can
scenario.
happen in a lot of.
You can even gaslight yourself. Like,
You can gaslight
Yes.
yourself, yeah.
All right, I want to see that
So
live.
long.
I want to see that live. Go, sir. Show us how gaslighting by yourself.
That was my question. I was gonna ask him.
Hey, no. Let's
so
action.
if you've been in a relationship with gaslighting for so long, you start to believe those same things. You tell them to yourself. So you gaslight yourself.
Hey, no, but I
People
want to
stay
see it
with
live.
those.
Yes,
It's foster a shot for Joshua.
that's
Example.
An example would be like you said something and then you didn't you said something, right, and then they call you out on it and say I never said that, and then you go back. Yeah,
Oh, that's
Yeah,
gaslighting.
I don't do it to you ever.
I thought that was just
Relationship.
somebody.
That's what my friend said.
yeah.
Gaslighting
It happens
is basically
with
messing with your
everybody.
mind. It's playing mind games, you know? Like, hey, it's not real.
Okay, because I can't.
it's a
think-
roller coaster.
I can't think of a example in a romantic relationship, but with work, I can. Like I've been gaslighted at work. And I think I touched on this earlier today when I met with Joe. I had to file a grievance and a sexual harassment case against my supervisor. And it was just this horrible experience. I was extremely young. I was 29 years old. I was a stupid 29-year-old girl. And I was a probation officer at the time. So the chief of probation, who is basically the chief of the whole department, once the investigation was done, basically said that it was my fault, the sexual harassment. And that's because I had incident reports. I had my receipts for text messages where my boss was telling me. And I mean, something else happened after that, but I thought that was a form of gaslighting because his words was you get along with him that way, and I'm like, I don't joke with anybody that way at work. No.
I would say most people don't even know what gaslighting is.
I still don't know.
Period. Yeah.
Guys,
I mean, I would say that the vast majority of people don't know what it is.
Conversation.
I mean, it's relatively a new term.
All these examples.
Honestly, sometimes you're not aware of it, but
It's
once you go
actually
through, like,
not a new term.
It's
Well,
not.
it-
no.
It's knowing now.
It's based on a playwright from I think it was in the 1800s or 19 something.
I saw the
Yeah, like it's based on a playwright for the gas.
But it's
I
brought
feel like
up
the term
more
narcissism
recently.
it's very
So
in
it's
the thing.
is different than gaslighting.
Okay, but a lot of narcissists, right?
Yes.
And then
they
once
do that.
sometimes you go
But
into relationships, you don't
narcissists can
realize
gaslight.
it. Oh, they can do a lot of those things.
Because
And when you get out of it,
Person
it's like
to
you get out with narcissism 101, and you're just like you're too smart on a lot of things that you just can't help it anymore.
I know.
so okay,
And then you just love yourself.
Yeah.
exactly. So look, let me tell you guys something. What Lorena was saying, it's a roller coaster. It starts very little. It's hard for you to identify it. I'm gonna talk in Spanish porque la neta fluyo más en español, una disculpa. Mira,
Yo no entiendo inglés.
es muy importante porque son tres cosas que tenemos que decir. Gaslighting, la importancia de la salud mental y cómo poder sobresalir de una relación así. Entonces, gaslighting empieza bien chiquito y puede empezar hasta con la ropa. It starts even with your clothes. Like, it starts little by little. Like, I'm a very outgoing person. I'm always laughing. I am I'm the center of attention mostly everywhere, and I'm not trying to be conceited. It's just the truth. So whenever I had a relationship at a very young
Cheers.
age, my
If you're watching the show and the bottom it says drink, this is where you drink, okay?
let's drink. Let's drink. Okay, let's do it.
Not water. Drink water.
Yeah. I need one of those.
Entonces yo brillo, tu niña brilla, a mí me gusta mucho brillar y a mí mi mamá me decía de chiquita, no tengas novio, no eres de novios. Pero pues las novelas, las maripositas en la panza,
Los libros.
pues los libros, quería tener novio. Entonces mi relación esa fue porque mis papás estaban divorciando y esa persona fue mi escape. My parents were getting a divorce, so that person became my everything. Like literally my everything. And we were together for like 6 months. Like it's ridiculous. But now that I'm older, I realize. But back then, he was my everything. It started with, I don't want you to wear your makeup because I like the way you look naturally. And like me, I'm also, okay, well, I'm not going to do my makeup because he loves me naturally. And then it escalated to, I don't want you to wear those shorts. Why don't you just wear a baggy shirt and some baggy pants? And then I'm like, okay, well, I'll do it because I love you. Stupidly. I love you. And then I don't want to lose you. So I'm going to do that. And it came to a point, llegó a un punto en donde ya ni siquiera podía hacer nada y tenía que estarle mandando mensajes en dónde estaba, con quién me mandaba mensajes. Estábamos en Denny's, no nos están pagando publicidad, pero estábamos en Denny's, mi mamá, su amiga y yo. Se acerca el mesero, the waiter. Can I take your order? Who are you with? Where are you? And then I panicked.
Honestly, he sounds hot.
This guy.
Hola.
He likes to be controlled.
Chingatelo, güey.
Sí,
En verdad, él, if you always look at it, there's two sides to every story. He has his issues.
sí, tenía sus problemas, no. Y,
I think he was gay.
maybe he was.
He wanted dick.
Sí. Vaya, te les llamamos. Saludos.
Sausage for Dennis.
Quería.
Pero entonces a mí me dio un ataque de pánico, solté el teléfono y mi mamá me dice, ¿qué tienes? Y yo, es que ya se enojó y me va a dejar y es que no. Y mi mamá, oye, ¿qué tienes? ¿Qué te pasa?
¿Cuántos años tenías?
Tenía 19, 18, por ahí estaba chiquilla. Y mi mamá de que le marcó, oye, espérate, mira, estamos aquí. Ah, no, señora, está bien, páseme a Ale. Y ya yo así que ¿qué pasó? Y él, luego hablamos y me cuelga. And I was like,
Mother.
temblaba y bien feo. Entonces,
Pero ¿sabes qué?
Psychological abuse.
hold on. Y luego empieza, es que hay mucho, eso es nada más desde el principio, pero empiezan con mucho amor, te dan toda la atención.
They go down on you.
Te digo algo que,
Serios.
I find
Hey, that's a real connection, bro. I'm
Ajá.
real.
Men don't like that.
It's a complete lie.
there has to be something behind that my parents were divorced. I don't know if it's the daddy issue thing.
Yeah,
I
it's the
don't know,
daddy
but
issue.
we end up shortly after, especially if you're a child of divorce, you end up looking for a partner, which thank God I didn't marry the guy, obviously. And you seem to try to cope with the divorce through your partner. And then
Sí.
you find someone bien tóxico because like
Y luego deja tú, if you don't identify it on time, you repeat. You're dating the same person over and over and over until you're like,
call them daddy issues.
sí. Le digo yo, ¿por qué me duele estar en una relación?
From the guys' world, we know. We're
But
like,
I will.
we're gonna find our first prey.
I will.
Who just got hurt?
I will.
I'm serious. From the guys' world,
And you're like,
My parents got
girl,
divorced
you got
once.
Edgar Nice.
Like
colonize.
I wanna see, my dad was my best friend, so I feel that even if you even if you got divorced,
My dad died.
I feel like even if your
So did
parents are
mine.
divorced, the relationship that your mom
Or dad this.
with you, the relationship your dad has with you, has a lot to do with it, regardless of whether they're divorced or not.
Si nos están viendo padres de familia que tienen niñas, lo que tú haces afecta a tu criatura.
Sí.
Créeme. Y si te divorcias de tu pareja, se entiende, pero no te divorcies de tus hijos.
No.
I know, because one
Damn.
saying like,
that shit is
empíname así, and then I
That-
win. I want to be like, empíname
that-
así.
that- yeah,
So,
Oye, te escuchó, güey, va a pistear, güey. He's like,
Sanita va a decir.
hijo, that was my mom. Let me take a sip of this. That's my mom, guys.
I will say that you are a product of your environment. A lot of people always fight me on that, but you are a product of your environment.
Sí.
Joshua, why do you think
Sí.
people are fighting you? I want to hear what who's fighting you. I'll go fight you.
No, it's
Back.
but it's
It's
true
true.
because they're like what's the opposite?
Have to stay that way,
No,
though.
no, you
don't
don't.
have to.
Hey, here's the
That's
thing. I think I'm gonna start gaslighting because of you guys. I never do that.
The what?
That what?
I don't.
Because
think
this environment is gaslighting me, so I'm gonna be
You're gonna
a
excuse yourself.
gaslighter. Like, what's gonna happen to me? I don't do that.
So,
Uh-uh.
so you brought up a good point. Oh, and I'm gonna say it because one of my best friends is a man, and I.
Is a what?
That's
man.
me. That's
Check out the cookies.
I'm done.
Check out the munchies.
That's me.
Los edibles.
Brownies.
Joe for advice? No, when I go to Joe for advice, it's a whole another kind of advice that I get. Joe is
Doggy style.
advice that I get.
I'm a
Reverse
little bit of
cowbell.
an case. Don't ever call me because it will not be a 2-minute conversation. Last time I was like, okay, friend, I've had it for 30 minutes. Just, Joe, it's been an hour and a half, not 2 minutes.
3 hours, Joe.
Damn.
No.
Don't ever call me.
Puro gaslighting ahí.
He's like
3 hours of gaslighting.
We have somebody watching from Houston, guys. Shout out to Houston. She says,
Oh, it's Elizabeth.
Elizabeth says, also, it's blame shifting. She says, also giving you love and attention if you do what they want. It's lack of self-love and detachment trauma. Yes. Yes.
The psychological part of it is we have attachment issues. So we attach to people when we're not healed.
And you know what's the fucked up part of it? I can't believe I'm cussing.
Healed because I do therapy.
Yes.
And I've already gone through all of my trauma and my demons, which go to
Oh, Lord. That's some deep shit.
So
Well, we
I
all have
identify.
to.
Oh, I am a demon. Anyways.
Yeah.
I don't think that a problem between a marriage can be solved by a third party. But you guys can tell me this. Do you think
I can
that
tell you,
marriage counseling or marriage therapy
by the time
can
you go to-
fix?
By the time you go to marriage counseling, is because one of those person in that partnership is already out of the relationship. So when you go into therapy, and if you haven't learned this yet, you're gonna learn it through the element of LMT. When you go into it, a lot of the times, let's say me and Leila were married, and I want.
I love that.
Yeah,
I'm happy for you.
I love it too because she's a Cancer and I love her.
Virgos go cancers. Yeah.
And so when if her and I were married and I want out of the relationship, we go to marriage therapy because that's what she wants. So we do the marriage therapy. A lot of the times I'm thinking I'm going to be out, but it ends up her that really wants to be out. And that's what happens when you're in marriage therapy. So when you're a marriage therapist, what you do is you kind of like have to identify the person who is still not out of that marriage, because that's the one you're going to end up focusing, because once that marriage is broken, that one person is out, and now you have to do individualized counseling. So it doesn't, I don't want to say it doesn't work, it works, but there's
Well, it works because they give you coping mechanisms.
yeah, it's just
Coping mechanism.
and you
You cope.
they give you a safe space to really talk about the one thing that I think a lot of what it sounds like is there's no communication. Like you need to communicate with your partner.
Oh, can you say that louder?
Yes.
For me,
Ahí
it's
para la que está mirando ahí la raza.
Communication.
yeah, not just communication, but trust.
Really.
Like, I'm not gonna be in a marriage and fucking gaslight.
You know,
why the fuck am I in the marriage?
You're saying bad
It's
words.
not also communication, it's comprehension, because
have
you
a
can
threesome,
communicate
you know?
all you want, but if the other person doesn't comprehend what you're saying,
I'm down with that guy.
the message is not going to get across.
Good point.
But I will say this too.
Yes.
I will say this that
Yes.
Respect is lost.
That's it.
oh for sure.
No.
But you
Hey, you break the glass and you glue it back up, but it's not the same.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can't.
you can love someone because I've loved before.
Did you fuck the glass?
But if I don't respect them,
Pretty much.
I figured.
them,
Yeah.
even though there's love there. But when no.
So
it
I don't know if you can answer this because I know there's kind of like I don't know if it's HIPAA or like there's rules that people
Don't
invent.
say names.
But no, don't say names. But like, have you ever seen a couple for marriage counseling? And advise them like, I don't think you should be wasting your time. You already fucked your own.
Manzanita. Just kidding.
Hey, here at the bar, bro, every morning from 8:30 a.m. to 11, here at this bar, there's counseling happening for free. For free. There's a group of women here
But do you
in
ever-
this sofa.
And
talking.
the patient number one is Manzanita.
Hey, but if you're listening to a story and you're like, this is wasting my time, and honestly, I have better to you'd be like, just fucking leave him. It's already over.
See,
Real
but
quick. And this guy, therapy session is 10 seconds.
I don't have the time to be like, and then how do you fuck? You're like, no, it's like you already cheated. You cheated to just go get a divorce. You know, like
Hey, makeup sex.
As
Yeah.
therapists,
Makeup
we
sex.
cannot
You
tell
cannot
you
tell that. They
that
can-
you have to go through a divorce.
They can
because
take your
those
credentials.
decisions- Yeah, those decisions are yours. You guide them.
I'm such a control freak that if I feel like people are not meant to be together, I would be like, just get a divorce. You're wasting your time. You could be out there fucking bigger dicks, literally, and you're stuck with this one.
y luego qué pasa si el del marido está grande y no lo quieres dejar?
Or there's other people out
What's
there.
it saying too that you found your Mr. Right in the RGV? Out of all people.
Ever Mr. Right or wrong? Like, is anybody, like, is anything como las novelas? Como
From
dice,
Hey,
Donna,
one is
Donna,
enough.
Texas. No.
is life
Arts and Donna.
novelas?
It is.
Shout out to Donna.
Is
And
life
Terry.
Terry, we miss
like,
you.
I mean,
No, it's because
if
honestly,
anyone
life is
out
like.
there has a perfect relationship, please tell us. Like,
I'm
give us
gonna
your secret. 'cause
fix myself here.
I don't think there's
Because
no.
when I was here, my idea of marriages was what I saw with my sisters who have multiple divorces, and you know one of them.
Mhm.
And then I see it through my friends who got married really young, who got married in the 20s, even got married in their 30s, and they have all these problems. And then you hear it from everybody. So none of it is appealing to me to like, déjame casarme, like I want to get married.
Actually, I heard marriages are on the rise. The percentage of marriages are.
But
No one's fucking call us. We're ordained ministers. Me and Joshua and Edgar. So you can call us. We'll go marry you.
Hey,
okay,
you,
so
you guys are interrupting.
February 14th.
none of my thoughts. That's okay.
You guys are interrupting.
When you
Keep going.
people who are actually in a good relationship and it's rare, but I have met those people. Huge difference. Like I desire what they have and I'm inspired by what they have because there is such a thing as happy marriages.
But so here's
How many do you know?
My younger brother.
very, very little. Like I can count like oh, but she's a widow now.
Okay. You'll behind closed doors, everyone has.
No,
Dude, behind closed doors, everyone likes the back door. Like
I'm saying that there's perfection, and I'm not even saying that they don't disagree or argue, but they love each other. They're in it together as
Not
a
just for the
couple.
but you can love someone every day.
See, this is what I'm gonna counter with. Love finishes. You're not gonna stay in love with the same person. Like it's gonna evolve into something else. El amor se acaba. Para mí sí, el amor se
Porque el
acaba.
amor se
El amor se termina. Pero tiene que haber algo que, bueno, dime, te dije que me digas cuando estoy gritando. Gracias por decirme. Es que estoy en el rancho y una disculpa.
Saca la vaca,
Dice,
La veo.
ahora que ya no estás, me siento libre.
Tin, tin, sí. Bueno, entonces,
Sing it.
no, yo
Güey, el amor no se acaba, güey. Forrest Gump, bro, lasted all that time waiting for that girl.
El amor se acaba,
Yeah.
de amor no se vive, busca otras cosas también. Yo amo a mi pareja.
Búscate otro.
No, güey.
No.
O sea, tienes que tener commitment. ¿Cómo se dice commitment en español? Commitment.
Yeah.
O sea, es de que tú eres mi persona, contigo me casé, a ti te voy a ser leal, te voy a respetar.
Manzanita, so
Mande.
you don't agree, do you not agree with the following statement?
A ver, tell me. Me encanta.
Camera? Camera.
Focus.
Wait.
What I'm saying is,
Wait. We need to take a shot.
the question is, ahí te va, pati.
A ver.
You fall in love with someone, and then for whatever reason you have to separate. This person marries somebody else, and then you end up with somebody else. And would you agree or disagree that you're still in love with that person, even though you guys are already in a relationship? Period.
Okay.
Pues es que mira, el amor,
Depends why you split.
honestamente, hay gente de mi pasado que yo quise y amé con toda mi alma, pero esas personas ya no están conmigo y yo ya hice las paces con eso. Los quiero mucho y quiero que les vaya muy bien en todo lo que hagan cuando tengan hijos, se casen y logren sus sueños. Se vuelven un cariño que ya, o sea,
Sí.
en un cariño, pero no los amo. O sea, no sé cómo, no sé cómo, I don't know how to.
Did you ever
Dime.
Como,
you know,
let
like
me ask
that's
a
how I
question.
feel.
Yeah.
Like,
Go for it.
Did you?
The person you were talking about earlier, the tóxico, right?
Ajá.
This is kind of like the way I would test it. Si se muere mañana, would you be sad?
No.
Okay, then that's
Then it's
love.
not-
That means that she does not love.
Pero eso no lo quería. Ese no, a otros.
Bueno, otro es.
pero ¿cuál de los 6? You said she's just 6. I mean, I'm confused. You gotta be
That's the
Ese se
point,
me quedó en la
though.
mente. Bueno, otro, vamos a
Ah, ella
decir,
también.
otro
Ella
es,
no.
en tu mente, piensa en uno.
Ajá.
Si él fallece mañana y te dicen, hey, X se murió, ¿cómo te vas a sentir? Is
Sí
it
me
gonna hurt you?
agüitaría.
Okay.
Sí me
and
agüitaría.
so love has many facets. It's kind of like universal. There's like, I love my mom, I love my kids, I love my mom, I love my husband, I love my coworker.
My
There's-
friends.
I love myself.
I guess love, you can kind of use it loosely. We use love loosely, honestly, we do. But are you,
But are you
in
in
love?
love
When
with
you
the
say
person?
in love,
It's a
that's
whole
kind of
other story.
I think this.
I think the word I think it might be like obsessed. Are you obsessed?
Yeah.
or
Are you obsessed?
Es muy tóxico.
no,
No, are you
no.
obsessed?
It's more like, is the dick big enough? You know?
I just said
Dale.
in. Yo no nomás dije it's the in.
It has nothing to do with it.
I just have to respect because yes, maybe like Josh said and like y'all said at
I
the
mean, it
beginning, the love at the beginning is not going to be like the same in the middle and then later, and depending on how long you've been together, you outgrow a certain kind of love, right? The beginning, the butterflies, whatnot.
Te voy a dar.
But
Ajá.
I always feel I'm very big on respect, and I've learned that from the relationships around me and my family and things like that. You still have to have respect for each other. I might not adore you the way I did, but if I have respect for you, that means I take you into consideration on any of my decisions.
Yeah, no, that's
And
mature.
and
That's mature
gonna
shit.
help
Mature
the
love.
relationship.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
I
mature.
love you, my love.
And
Sí.
there is a saying that says that, like, when you respect someone, you think about how is this going to affect my
Exactly.
partner? How is that I'm gonna hurt him?
And then there's
Because
also
with love, you can still hurt the person you love. So love
Sí.
isn't like the only thing that's important.
No.
Para,
there's also the
para
other
eso
thing
voy.
too. Like if somebody, like if your spouse or someone were to get sick and you all go through that together, like if you come out of it together, you develop a deeper,
A different bond. like,
different
Yeah.
bond.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. I
true.
think I seen a couple went through. I was like, damn, that guy respect.
That's true.
Respect. No, here's the this happened to me. Well, realization. I think the past year, I had never thought about this, but I have this uncle who literally, I think I shared it with some of you guys. But Tio, if you're watching this, al Chile, respect. I
It's
had never
cute.
thought about this. Me growing up, it was always like, no, if I found this single mom, I would never. I was one of those guys growing up, like I would never date a single mom, blah, 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 never. But then recently, I don't know why. I think it was last year actually. We were talking, having this conversation, and then I have a cousin who is my Tio. I think he was like 6 or 7 years old, and he took over. And now, kid you not, like when I see a guy who took care of kids that were not even his, respect.
Yeah.
Boom. Like you have no idea. I don't know how this relates to this. I don't even know. I just wanted to share.
Well,
no,
it does
no,
relate
but
to
in the
it
sense, no,
because-
but it has to do with like the sense of love. You know what I mean?
Disclose, Edgar.
Look,
I
as a single mom, I my husband, he's not the father of my son. So for me to be able to, ¿cómo se dice? Como respetarlo y valorarlo por eso. Pero también no se pasen de lanza y no la avienten en la cara, because that, like, don't do that. If you're gonna date a single mom and you're gonna accept her that way, don't ever tell her, oh, well, I got you with kids, because that's not good.
I know that's
Gaslighting?
that's gaslighting for sure.
That
That's
is
gaslighting.
That is like throwing la
Is
joya
that,
over
is
there.
that gaslighting?
That's not good either.
I
Encuentro unos
think-
pinches Happy Meals con toy y un pinche ice cream cone. Let's go,
You know,
baby.
that reminds me, I am a single mother, obviously, right? I have my son, he's 10. His dad and I, long story short, we split when my son was 4, but we were college sweethearts. So I think we outgrew each other.
Mm-hmm.
We have respect for each other. It's like you said earlier, right?
It's because
If
people change.
I have love for him in a way of, this is my son's father and I respect him. He's kind of holy to me because he's such a great father, honestly. He got very blessed with him. But so it's a different kind of love. You know, it's like, hey, you are the father of my child and you're a great father and you're a great human being, and right, I respect you and everything. And if something were to happen, of course it's gonna, right?
Mhm.
But it's not a love that I'm in love with anymore. Do you understand that? No.
It's because there's a difference being in love and then just loving
And
someone.
I think
Cariño.
because so measuring relationships, is at what point do you stop loving someone? But at the same time, is at what point do you begin loving them? And I think the catalyst of love is respect. This is a whole different plot twist, right? My husband didn't grow up with a strong relationship with his father, right? He actually, came out with a lot of different issues in life, not issues in life, but with a lot of, distress because of his father. My dad had never bonded with anyone at all. I'm gay. Obviously, my dad wasn't blessed with a daughter-in-law because I wasn't gonna fuck no pussy. But I had to fuck it up always. But when my
I
dad
don't like tuna. He said.
when my dad met my husband that he was fortunate to meet, my dad has such respect for art, and art had the same level of respect for my dad, that like my dad loved him, because he even told me, he's like, cuida a Arturo porque es alguien muy bueno, lo quiero tanto, and
Arturo, the producer. Arturo, hey.
no, and the bond that they had was impressive, because like it was like, oh my God, this guy is, that's not your, like, you're not blood. But then he's like, no, es que like él tiene, like the way he thinks it. I'm like, how do you know this? And later on in life, I found out on my own why my dad would say that, right? But in the small amount of time that they bonded, it was pretty wow. But I think that love grew because of the respect that they showed each other initially.
Yeah, and
So-
going back to why people change is because they're not growing together. They usually grow separately.
Outgrow each other.
Yeah, they're not together.
That because my husband's away, like we're gonna out like.
I mean,
A la vez.
yes.
A la vez. Let me check out the popcorn and the shit.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It makes you grow stronger, honestly. I think I did it for a long time. But how long did we do it for? Like,
Yes.
Right.
Yes. The right.
Separately.
Yes.
That's why I'm saying that love isn't everything. You have to have goals. You have to have something in common with the person. Porque de amor, el amor se va a acabar si no hay otras cosas. A eso me
Hey, you know, hey, that reminded me. That reminded me of the wife of the dentist. No, okay, cool.
Like
no. Yeah.
Love is gonna end if you guys don't have common goals and common ambitions and things like that. Like
Oh.
Hey, that's my topic. I'm talking about my topic.
it's not gonna survive.
Amiga,
Mande.
como dice mi amiga Rubí Teresa, cuando la pobreza entra por la ventana,
Sí.
el amor sale por la puerta.
Sí, cuando el hambre entra por la ventana, el amor sale por la puerta definitivamente. Porque mira, pasa, a mí me ha pasado. Yo soy una persona muy ambiciosa. Yes, I said it. I'm very, very ambitious. Me gusta el dinero. But I've discovered this past year recently that I like making my own money. So like because my relationship has really depended a lot on TikTok, and I've discovered that that's an issue that I have. I watch a lot of TikTok, and if I relate to a certain topic, I change my whole personality to that topic.
What's your
That's not
time?
good.
How much time do you spend on TikTok?
A lot, a lot, a lot. I wake up and I open TikTok. That's
Guys,
That's how I get my motivation of the day.
Strong than these people. So we're gonna take a quick second so we can take a shot, because honestly,
Yes, let's do it.
I'm so fucked up for all of them right now that I feel like, guys, help me, please.
So we were gonna do it.
I saw-
Con pregunta de Edgar.
shot master, I don't know.
Okay,
Hey,
production, can we get a
Get the kid. Hey, get the kid in the video.
Salud. Cállate, cállate.
Progreso. Progreso.
So I hope you're enjoying this so far, season number 3.
I am. What I told Myra was like, you're
He's never getting married.
I'm like, never getting married. I'm never dating, because that's what you all are presenting.
I
to me.
think you should, so you test it out yourself, because you'll never know.
Yeah.
Esa,
Hey,
You're the one person that has.
Lorena, the reviews on Google don't mean shit. You do it. All right.
Yeah.
Y'all are Google.
Don't experience
Yeah.
in other people's heads. Do your own experience.
I mean, like, what if,
Story.
Yes.
See, earlier you were saying about you have to have same goals, same what. I have to disagree with it just a little bit,
Mhm.
because I do feel like sometimes you might not have the same goals, right? It's like you're a positive, they're a negative, but you know what? We might not see eye to eye. I might not see what you want, but I will support you, right? But
Mhm.
you support me too.
And if the person has money,
It has
of course I will support.
Claro, lo que tú
no,
quieras,
I'm talking
niño.
about emotional support.
Oh, shoot.
You know what? If that's what you want,
the shoes on my feet?
I'm not gonna lie. So my son's dad, he is educated, right? He's a very sweet man, but he's not very. He's social in a different way. I'm a big people person, right?
Mhm.
And anywhere I go, I make friends, right? I talk to people, and he's just kind of like, why do you always have to say hi to people? Why do you always have?
My husband's
That's
like that.
just the way it is.
¿Qué le
So it's
importa?
like, I'm saying maybe you don't have to see the same goals.
Me
but
and my
we
husband are
support you
very
because
different.
you're you.
He's very antisocial and I'm very social. He's very, I want to be by myself. Yo soy una águila. A mí me gustan las águilas andan solas. He's very like that.
Fly
And
solo.
I'm a social butterfly.
¿Qué? ¿Le va a la América o no?
Sign.
My
I'm an Aries.
parents were opposite of
Me
each other.
too. I'm opposite from my husband.
I'm an
And they
Aries. But we do have the same goals. We do have the same ambitions. We do have, and that's what's kept us together. And aparte, he's a very loyal,
support it.
he's a very loyal man. So I really respect that out of him. Porque ahorita hay mucho mugrero allá afuera de que no
Hey,
se
hey,
respetan,
hey,
que se
hey,
quieren
hey.
a
A
sí mismos.
lot of it.
No, yo no metí pedradas, que traiga que yo.
Hey, hey, hey.
Now, again, you said right now about the respect and stuff. If they don't even respect themselves,
I right?
Exactly.
they don't even love themselves.
So
what
that's-
makes you think they can? How you
Respect
gonna
you.
empty cup?
Well, he poured out of the tequila shot from an empty cup.
But I will drink this one.
Ah.
But this one I do
This
want.
is not empty.
Oh.
It is tequila.
I will say that you're either being trained or you're doing the training.
Exactly.
You,
Wait, what-
you
A
understand?
ver,
You get that?
a ver, yeah.
Hey, what trainer are we talking about here?
And
You're a skilled master already.
yeah, you're
¿Cómo?
you're narcissist.
Until it comes.
So I'll tell you how I learned this.
Okay.
And this is the most mind blowing thing. You think I'm a moron, but it is
Yeah.
the 100% truth. This is how I learned that you are either being trained or you're doing the training. My
mom would say that.
dog will pee if I don't take him outside,
Mhm.
right? So he's training me to open the damn door, take him outside. This is where, oh shit, like, this is mind blowing. Same thing happens in relationships.
His name is
Same
Joseph.
things happens with your kids.
Yeah.
It's 100% true.
See?
You're either being trained or doing the training.
Is that the reason why there's like a big marriage gap, like 46-year-olds marrying 22 or something like that, or no?
That's usually women that go with the younger men. And oh no, it's just
I have hope.
And
I have
the
hope.
women too.
I have hope, Trisha.
Other topic. That's
Trainable.
They're
That's
training.
another topic. Sí, well, that opens the door to
Well, they
mental
also fuck
health.
you better.
¿Cómo anda su situación mental como para que anden con una mujer de 20 años más joven que ellos? Porque sí hay.
I will tell you, es que muchos, bueno, no sé, yo hablando en lo personal, sí he andado con hombres mayores, ¿verdad? Pero
Yo no.
se me hace que antes pensaba más de que, ay, un hombre mayor es maduro. Eso no es cierto. La madurez no tiene nada, bueno, ya lo aprendí, ¿verdad? Pero la madurez no tiene nada que ver con la edad.
Me encantó.
Hay hombres menores, como mi hermano menor se casó a los 20 y mi cuñada tenía 18 y él le pidió la mano a su papá y ellas, they're from church, like they're pastors and whatnot, and the dad said, no, they're too young. He's like, I'm going to do right by your daughter, sir, and I'm going to marry her. He married her. They're still married. They've been married 15 years. She's never worked. My brother has gone to school twice, gotten 2 more degrees, worked, and he still married her.
That's amazing.
Okay.
Exactly.
That
So
happens
vamos a-
sometimes, yeah.
Nothing to
Like,
do with age.
there are happy couples.
They should write a book.
There is. Of
Well,
course,
guys,
yeah.
here is to all of
Yes.
you guys.
Before going to our next topic, which is mental health,
Cheers.
we're going to do this little shot.
Cheers.
Yeah, if you're going through gaslight, leave the
fuck me.
fucker or start gaslighting him back, okay?
Fuck the gaslighters.
Cheers to all of you guys being miserable at home.
Shout out to my buddy High End, the guy, the dentist. Dentist you were talking about? I talked to him on Instagram.
Oh, for real?
So did you hear about the story? About
Shelby.
the dentist that his wife
Oh,
conspired with the mechanic?
I just saw that.
So
Tatted
I
eyes.
saw that.
I'm talking with him
Welcome
on
to the
on Instagram.
956.
Well, I'm talking to him.
There's a dentist here in the and it's in the valley, right? He's from the valley. El chavo es millonario, tiene feria. He was married.
Yeah, he does.
She
He
had
was-
a company by herself too, though, or something like that.
Yeah.
¿Y lo mataron?
I saw
No.
the guy.
Acentones.
The lady that was married to the
Disgusting.
rich dentist cheated on him with like a bum,
Well,
and they planned.
Hey, that guy fixed my car.
I got the story. So
Great
the
job.
wife,
Go for it.
the wife,
Props to that
and the
guy.
mechanic, they conspired against the dentist, which is the husband, and because he had just sold the house, so he had about $75,000 cash in his truck.
God.
So what happened was that the wife and the mechanic ended up going at night and hit the guy over the head and stole.
Guys.
I don't know if it's 4 guys, but it's still under investigation. So the guy hit him on the head, stole the truck, and they found out that that was the wife that conspired against it. So it's still under investigation. But I'm talking to the guy, and we're probably gonna make a documentary out of it.
Has like a
Wow.
whole like series on his
Yeah, the guy
Facebook.
keeps
and
like,
it
Yes.
keeps following.
like Netflix, call me, things like that, because
And
it
Brooklyn
is a
Nine-Nine
pretty
Six.
Yes.
it has a really good plot twist.
Interestingly enough, too, he told me like 100 women from the Rio Grande Valley reached out to him.
Yeah, I sent him praying hands.
Hey, don't be talking about my friends.
I did.
He
because-
probably thought you
Don't be
wanted to
talking
hook
about
up with
my
him.
friends.
No, he's-
Don't be talking about my friends like that, bro.
but no,
Only I
like,
could.
one
You
of
know
his
why they're
pictures,
reaching
I because I
from the
felt
back.
like I feel bad for him
I need to leave the
because
valley.
to be
Both.
so educated,
That's
to
my goal.
be such a hard worker, and it happens to a lot of people. He's not the only one.
Oh no.
Obviously, it became public because I mean the
Porque-
they call
porque
him
tiene lana.
Well, I mean, that's kind of what happened to Jelly's uncle.
It's more public too because he's a dentist, and you're like, what? And then you see what she cheated with, and you're like, what?
But I'm gonna tell you guys something, and I don't know my dad's my ex stepmom follows me. My dad left my mom for. Well, they're back together, by the way.
'Cause
They're
they never-
back together.
I love that.
This up. But when you would see the lady my dad cheated on my mom with, you'd be like, ew. But again, I was like,
Hey,
hey, there's more to everything, right? And it's not sometimes not about the look, sometimes it's just about the attention, whatever, XYZ. I don't know
The
guy,
vaginal connection.
but I cannot judge the guy
It's about
for her
sex.
to want because I went down a rabbit hole when that story aired about the and I saw like where they would travel. I felt like I was a part of their life. I was like, wow, this guy, the dentist, he gave her such a beautiful life. I mean, how many of us would not want to be in Tulum and Cabo and all these Dubai, like traveling and stuff.
Be nada.
But
Money doesn't buy happiness. Remember that.
yes, that's what I came.
what?
Pero como ayuda. Ey, pero
The
como
fucking can.
Did you just defend 98% of the valley?
el dinero no compra la felicidad, pero sí ayuda.
Hey, pero la
sí
casa
ayuda. Yes, it does help, but it does not-
Hey, it's clinically proven that money will fucking buy you happiness. What are you talking about?
No es lo mismo llorar en un bocho que en un Ferrari. Ni modo.
There's something to it, Joe. There's something beyond the money. Obviously, they were stealing money.
There's a
so
study.
Yeah.
the money is still involved.
I want to
But-
read that.
Look,
study.
I shared
Eddie
this.
Fuego.
I shared.
Have you found it, Joshua? I was looking at you. Have you found that
Study
study?
of what?
Look, I shared this
Josh,
picture
I can-
on Facebook.
A ver, di.
Eh,
Money does.
no, look, listen, I'm talking about money and this and happiness. I shared this picture on Facebook and it was they were like, well, why would my father go with this lady and blah blah blah. I saw this milk and there was a girl with the milk and it said married and then the girl was like this like milk. And then there was the side chick and the side chick had the milk in her face.
Let me tell you, Edgar, what it was.
In her face and I was like
On-
on her face.
On her
So
face.
sorry, but
Inside.
Your
Mom,
mom.
I'm sorry. We had this conversation. I was 15 when I told my mom, you know why dad left you? Sorry, guys. Because you didn't have sex with him.
You didn't suck his dick.
Fucking left you for the ugly bitch.
Oh,
Pero te digo algo.
it was a reverse cowgirl will solve everything. Anyways, on to the next point.
Es que es la decisión y la integridad del hombre.
It's an
It's-
internal
look,
issue.
it's an
because you can
internal
get
issue
all of that
because-
and they will still.
I'm sorry.
If the person is
You
like
keep
that,
telling
they have
me
a
things
relationship.
Exactly. If the person's
Josh
Nunca
has
dije
done that
nada.
before. And he said,
I will say most men are dogs.
Most
Sí.
men with
Men
one
are
thing.
dogs.
Hey.
it all depends on the values of the person. If the guy doesn't have any values and doesn't have self-respect, you can fuck him all you want. He can come all you want. But if he is worth shit, he's not gonna be faithful because he's not
He's a
worth
piece of
shit.
shit.
Edgar,
He's a
do
piece
you
of shit.
You're in love with
function with sex?
Listen, reverse cowgirl. That's all I gotta say.
El vato.
Joshua, do you function with sex? You need sex in life.
Of course, absolutely.
Bro,
100%.
it's
So
human. What do you mean?
if your significant other doesn't give it to you,
bro,
would you go look for it somewhere else?
you have to. If not in front of her, you'll be like, "Shh, you see this? This is happening because you ain't doing your job. And if it's married, look, I'm not married, of course, but if you're married, it's like, it's your duty, girl. It's your duty.
Duty.
And you look you look at her in the eyes and you're like, it's your duty to please thy man. And you just sit on the couch like that.
Self,
You do it yourself.
No, but in case the partner doesn't, in case a girl doesn't want to
If
do
you
it,
choose
it's
to
like,
date Edgar,
yo.
he comes with a lot of.
you got it.
He has a lot of issues. Hey,
Listen.
okay.
He might look innocent.
I want to say
You
something.
have to.
they like.
Que ya se me olvidó, my ADHD.
She was thinking about she visualized right now when she gets home. ahí va a estar.
Tú dilo.
Right now, I have a lot of issues. Like,
None of them like-
okay, it's so hard to not see it that you're like, man, I don't want to mess with you. Like,
Like,
no thanks.
We're talking about sex, and yes, sex is very important. But for women, a lot of factors come into consideration for us to be able to be very sexually with our partners. If we don't feel protected or taken care of and valued, por más dinero que tenga el vato, no te puedo abrir las piernas porque no me estás demostrando que me quieres, que me mimas, que me cuidas. No me siento así, entonces no te puedo dar porque no me siento
I think
cuidada.
I'm gonna say that I'm a man in this part of the
Pero hay mujeres que no les
discussion.
gusta. I'm serious. There's girls that they're not sexual. Like
Yeah, through the ass. It's
you have to throw a pill in there or something.
Es que están bien
What are we talking
les
about?
de dinero. La verdad, muchas no, porque no te importa, o sea.
Pero es que no nada más es el dinero, sino que te respeten, que te valoren. Oye, está bien, sueltas toda la lana, está con madre, pero andas publicando en Facebook y andas buscando morras que quieres viejas. O sea, ¿qué seguridad le estás dando a tu mujer?
That sounds personal.
What are we talking about here?
No, bueno, it's not personal, it's just, I've seen it.
Mi
I've seen it.
pregunta es para ustedes, because honestly, okay, I lost my train of thought. It was a good question. So I'm gonna stand with the boys on this side of town this time around. But if a man is gaslighting you, all of you guys, because I think I'm gonna have the same answer as these two.
I'm away.
Would you consider getting even by fucking him over with somebody else? Like, you know
No.
what? I'm gonna go get fucked by your best friend.
No.
Consider him fucked.
No, you know
No.
why? Because that lowers you down to their level. So then what good are you doing anyways? Now you're just a piece of shit just like they are.
Yeah.
Victim of
it's
gaslighting
leveling up,
is
not
usually so
downgrading.
insecure that they will not do that. So a gaslighting victim, is that the right way to say it? They're so, I mean, if they say you're gonna wear that, like, I mean, if they're that negative with you, that partner is just always on you, always fucking with your head, your self-esteem is like the shit.
Oh my god! I just realized that my ex-boyfriend used to always gaslight me.
They're gonna fuck.
He would always tell me, "You're gonna wear that.
Find
You look ridiculous," and I'm like, "Why? Fuck you."
So honestly, they manipulate you so you will not go find someone else. So you stay stuck with them, and you're gonna be like, "Oh,
It lowers yourself.
And you know
And
what?
and then it's a little
He was the one that looked like clown.
Exactly.
I looked always fabulous.
they make you feel like shit," and you're not gonna find someone else because they make you feel like shit. So you're pretty much fucked either way with a gaslight. That's my
Wow.
I say you should go to threesome,
te
bro.
dicen,
But
ay,
fuck
tienes hijos, nadie te va a querer, güey, me quieren hasta contigo, vato, o sea, de que
¡Ah, la verga!
güey, o sea,
Mic drop. Yeah.
Con todo el Pokémon. y el
mínimo
pedo.
error.
Let's go.
Ay, güey,
El
me encanta
Pokémon.
hacer maldiciones, ¿cómo están?
¿Quién se la ha jalado?
Oye, oye. Oh, Edgar. Edgar hizo cara, ¿no?
Bueno, cuando tu marido vive lejos, tienes que ingeniártelas para dejar la llama encendida.
Hey,
Este,
they sell now some phones with some lips that you can suck on them while FaceTime. I saw it online.
I
Oh,
haven't
here's the
seen
deal. In case you
Yeah, no, I'm
know,
serious. I saw that online.
there is a
They sell
dildo machine
Oh my
that it can give your significant other the ability to use it from afar. If you haven't
Nah, it's
used
not the same,
it,
bro.
I'm not gonna tell you the name because they haven't paid me.
¿Qué onda, mi amor?
But-
Dígalo ahí, nos ponemos de acuerdo.
Yeah, you can be at home, get
Nah,
penetrated
it's not the same,
by your
bro.
husband while he's out in Midland or Austin working
Él
miles
está, él
away.
está en Illinois.
like there's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
vibrator
Te la
button,
mete así como, and he can,
it's controlled by your partner.
you know.
Oye, tu husband sale con su camarada next to his bed.
Espérate.
Y eso también depende de la pareja que tengas. Hay hombres que son muy celosos con hasta juguetes sexuales que no te permiten.
Are you serious?
Pero gracias a Dios, pues yo estoy muy bendecida que mi marido, pues, me quiere, me mama y me cuida y me encanta.
¿Qué? Oye, ¿qué te mama?
O sea, me cuida, me mima, me protege.
Okay.
Me quiere mucho mi marido.
Lorena, how are we down there?
We're good.
Oh,
No, like down there in the sofa.
Wait.
Hey, I was expecting like freshly waxed or something. Like, oh no, bro. Like, what do you mean?
Well, I think the mental health component is very, very important
Yeah.
because a lot of times mental psychological abuse goes unnoticed and we don't deal with it because we're thinking, pues they're not beating the fuck out of me, they're not raping me, so I'm
because you're
okay.
stuck down the sinkhole too. Like,
Yes.
you need to get out of that rabbit
So
hole.
it's very
When you snap
important.
out of it, you're like, oh
I'm trying to
crap.
figure out how to navigate all these personalities.
It's very important for you to.
All these personalities. It'll work. I just need
You absorb people's energy, huh? Yeah.
Is it different than the last season?
It's extremely different than last season, and I do.
I like the way you look at her.
Manzanita, get yourself together, Manzanita. Manzanita, get yourself together,
No,
Manzanita.
wait,
yeah.
wait. I
Joshua, so
Oh god.
no, 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 no. Wait,
I
Joshua,
met Anita prior to the season. I know exactly how she is. It doesn't surprise me. I'm not scared of it. And I've known Leda since we were in high school.
And she knows
So
I'm super ADHD, so I go off topic.
like
Yes, I have
And
a
my
lot of
location
Me
is
too.
gone, so we're all good. Let's
so
go.
Josh, I think these groups are usually different than your friends group are. How do you feel around these people?
I get along with everybody. I don't care what you
Fuck,
do.
that's anything special, Joshua.
now,
Yeah.
look, we're Virgos.
Be
We don't get
honest,
along with
okay?
no
I get
one.
I get along with everybody.
Tolerate and
I
we
love everybody.
understand people's behaviors
Me
and
too.
personalities, but it doesn't necessarily mean that we're like, yes, you're my friend.
I mean, I won't hang out with most people all the
Fuck.
time, but I will.
Are my favorite. I love them. Cheers.
But I get along with everybody. I don't
So
care what
everybody's
people
your
do.
favorite except Aries. Ya está.
No, look,
Muy bien.
Aries men.
Para saber.
I
amigos.
typically
Never.
have an issue
I don't like people.
with,
Fuck people.
with Libras. My sister Jennifer.
Are we gonna
Um.
like top like
No,
we need
well,
to have a whole show on that because
No,
I really
Aries
understand
women,
horoscopes
I
so much.
friends
Oh,
with.
she's taught me a lot of it.
Who,
We need
me?
to have a whole
Uh-huh.
Lorena's taught me a lot too. You have.
I'm naturally
But
drawn
y'all.
to Virgos. It's kind of like we're connected in some way, and yeah, I'm naturally like it's kind of like they're kind of like my tribe in some way. Like I will protect you. I will like,
Chances, but us because we're awkward, we're weird, but because we're different.
and we're not normal dude in any way. Like if you're a Virgo, you're weird in some way, and not everyone will understand you. But I feel like we understand each other because we analyze the fuck out of everything that happens to us. We fucking are prideful that we don't like asking anyone for help. We can be dying.
Yes, and I've been there. Yes, I've been there.
Yeah, and so if you're a Virgo,
Are you
I
guys
think-
still like that, by the way? Are you guys still like that? Are you?
Yes, because
What the fuck?
What?
Que fue la gripa, mijo, pues cómo.
It's not just I
That fuck the horoscope. You got mental issues. What are you talking about?
Mental health. Speaking of that.
those aren't mental
Ya se te
issues.
quitó.
El vato ya se me quitó.
That's that
seas
you
pendejo.
when you ask for help and when somebody doesn't help you, then you
Like fuck it, I'll do it myself.
do it myself. Like I'm not gonna wait around for someone to save me. I save myself.
Everyone that received an email from me for the sponsorship and advertisement for season 3, if you didn't respond to me and let me read, I want to tell you fuck you. And don't call me back asking for shit because you are not here for me. Everyone that responded to me, and he said, "Thank you, Joe. I appreciate that. Thank you for
Down,
this PSA. Bye."
Look,
Okay,
let me
so-
tell you how much I know us as Virgos. Research. Tell me if you research or not this topic.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay. See, and don't tell me that you don't pick up on people's vibes.
Oh, yeah, I do.
Because I pick up on people's vibes. Last week.
Wait, you're a Virgo?
Yes.
Oh shit! I don't-
Influencers do that too.
But I'm like, I do that too, bro.
When's your birthday?
14th September.
Wow.
Very
You guys
focused
are
on
I
our
go-
signs.
I
No, you're not.
I research this. I pick up on energies big time. Big time. Like I can tell you, it's kind of weird, and as I'm getting older, it's even getting worse. Like
Yeah,
Oh,
for
it's
me, it's
weird.
weird. Because last week, and I told
I
Joe,
don't know. That's
this was
that-
like
but
our
that's just
10-hour conversation that we had one night. That we called for one.
If
day.
you're bored, just call me at night. I'm awake.
No, like, I don't know what it was. I was like, it feels. Oh my god! And I hate that I'm saying it. I felt like rechazada.
like whenever y'all do that, can you like
Who are you?
Three-way. Hey, it's your party phone, remember? Anybody remember those?
Yes.
What's that? Everybody.
Podcast live over the
Hey,
phone.
todo 1-800.
If you ever can ask me, call us, and I'm usually up.
Always awake at weird hours.
there's ways to do that, isn't there? Like you can
So on the chat, I think on Saturday night,
Zoom meeting.
Zoom, ¿cómo se llama? Ya, I sent her
Al
to
Chile.
in the morning, 3:30.
account.
And I was
Yeah.
like, is anybody else awake so I can call them? Because
I'm always awake.
I want to talk to somebody. Because I felt so awake and lonely, and it was 4 in the morning on Saturday, and I was completely sober,
Tomaste
watching
Adderall,
Younger.
te tomaste el Adderall, por eso.
Oh,
I don't know. I don't take Adderall. I
Do you want to? No.
no. I don't do uppers. I do downers.
That's the real question.
Do you want to? Going to Progreso this weekend? Oh.
Yeah,
I'm,
So,
I'm very anti-med.
So wait. I'm gonna go down you.
Oh.
Have you ever experienced gaslighting in your
Yes, I have.
situation?
Yes.
What was it like?
It was horrible. And I just feel like that's what I was saying earlier. It's kind of like you don't realize it, but you start going down a sinkhole. So a year can pass.
Give me an
3,
example.
4. Just something. Let's just say you saw something, and you know you saw it, and it's like, no, you didn't. You're imagining things, you know? It's not like that. I swear it's not like that. And then you start taking pictures or whatever you see because you're like, no, they're gonna tell me no, and then I end up believing it because then I end up thinking maybe I'm overthinking, maybe I'm overdoing it, right? Maybe I shouldn't. So then you start taking pictures, you're like, no, I know I saw it. I have a picture. I know you're, you know, because it's true. They can mess with your mind so much with your reality. It's a mental thing, honestly. And then once, and like you said earlier, right, Manzanita, how when you get out of it, what happens when you get out of it? I feel like the day that you get out of it is when you realize, like, wait, that person is who they are. Ask yourself why you allow it. Why do you allow the disrespect? Why do you allow the manipulation? Why do you allow everybody has things to work on? They have things to work on, but see what you have to work on yourself then.
Yes.
And then
I love
once
it.
you start, that's opening up already. You already have your third eye open. You
Mhm.
start awakening to it. You start researching. You start healing. You start working. You're like, oh my God, it takes two to tango.
Yes.
So maybe that person did do a lot of bad stuff and you didn't, but you stayed there too. So why did you stay there?
Yeah.
It's always two in a relationship.
Yes.
Did you not love yourself?
Or a third
I
person in
I
secret.
So then respect
I
yourself.
so I
You know
worked
your
Mechanic.
place.
for
And then you snap out of it. And you're like, that's it. And you can still love them, maybe. I can love you from afar, but you're hurting me. And why would I want to hurt myself?
There's a
So
song
I'd rather
called
be alone.
There's a song called
Cántala,
Plural,
güey, cántala,
Plural
cántala,
siendo
cántala, güey.
singular, plural being singular.
Yeah.
And it's a Spanish song,
Cántala,
and I
Manzanita.
relate to it so much because yeah, you notice that you're being gaslighted, that you're being manipulated, that you're being taken advantage of, and incluso a mí me han pegado exnovios, o sea, ojos morado, labios partidos, antes tenía brackets, I would andaba con un músico allá en Town, yo era animadora, la persona, nada más porque alguien que fue a la escuela conmigo se acercó a saludarme, él en la camioneta de regreso a la casa, era de que es que eres una puta, y es que esto, and I was like, I didn't do anything, and me being, I've never been called that before, pues lo cacheteé, y me dijo como 3 veces y le di 3 cachetadas. Pues cada golpe que le di me lo regresó. Me reventó el ojo, tenía el ojo reventado. And I was in so much shock because when I was younger, I would say, oh my God, if they ever hit me, I'm leaving that person. I'm not going to stay there. But I was in complete shock and I didn't know how to react or how to, like, I just stayed quiet and I just stopped. Like, I was shaking so bad and I'm shaking right now. And then it just changed. Like, that person noticed that I was bleeding and stopped hitting me. And then we just stopped at the store and he's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Perdóname. He started cleaning me up. Like, I'm the worst. And he started crying. And then instead of me being like, yeah, fuck you, like I was, it's okay. Like,
You
I,
comforted him.
yeah, I comforted him. Like, it's okay.
You're
I
just in
understand.
shock.
Maybe it was my fault, but hasta yo me eché la culpa de porque él me golpeó. And that was incident number 1. And then there's more. Like, but that's just my story. And now it's like, no, like, why did I go through that? Why did I,
Allow it.
porque tuve que vivir 5 relaciones o 4 relaciones del mismo vato para que yo pudiera entender de que la que estaba mal era yo? Because it's a hard pill to swallow when you realize that you're the one that put up with a lot of shit. And sometimes it, like he said, it takes 2 to tango. You, sin querer, you're the one who shows that other person how to treat you. So if you don't solve all the baggage from your previous relationship, you're gonna bring it to the new one. And before you even realize it, you're gonna be living the same thing over and over and over and over until
It's like they say, right?
te,
The
puedes,
universe,
te pueden
the
hasta
universe will-
matar, güey, si no te das cuenta que
I
tienes mucho trabajo que hacer.
It's like they say.
Just getting over your relationship and not taking that baggage to the next one. Because between breakups, I always take my space and my time to heal
Not
and
like
not
J-Lo, right? Not like J-Lo.
no, not like Taylor.
But it's very rare that people do that.
But I do. But I'm
Yeah.
just different, and I'm proud to be very different.
No, and I agree with you.
And when I heal, then I move on to the next one because I don't want that baggage to the next one. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's my trauma is healed. The connection I had with that person is healed. The things that I experienced with him and things he did to me is the part that wasn't healed. And when you and it's true. When I started doing therapy, one of the they give you homework assignments and you don't have to do the homework assignments. You don't have to, right? Unless you want to put in the work. So one of the homework assignments that my therapist gave me was list all the red flags that you can identify from these men and that you've ignored, right? But I already know what red flags
long
I've
of a list.
ignored.
I know.
So what I did is I did my red flags, like what would be what a man would consider my red flags are. Because when I did that list, then I started to work on that to try to be better. What happened? She needs to go to the restroom.
Restroom.
She was trying to go discreetly.
Love it.
Yeah.
Put on the spot.
She needs to go pee.
Lore,
Oh, sí.
sí, bueno, nosotros como en nuestra
Afuera.
cultura mexicana,
Ah,
en nuestra cultura
Esposo.
mexicana que siempre dicen, ay, un clavo saca otro clavo.
But
Wait,
that's not
no, that's
true.
not true.
Like,
Wait,
it's not
but
for
that's
me.
how everybody are friends, right? When you're younger, it's what
My
they say.
sisters.
So as you get older and when you finally start waking up and healing and all these things, you're like, wait, the universe will keep giving you the same scenario with different people until you learn it, right?
And
then
that
it's
was
that
me.
time
Hey, as you start growing up, you realize our culture ain't shit.
that you learn that, right? That you don't, un clavo no saca otro clavo. Whatever happened there, you're taking it on to the next one because you can't be alone. You're like, well, I feel lonely and I feel sad and whatever. So let me go find somebody else to distract. Guess what? That problem, and then this one's gonna have a problem. So now you're gonna have double.
And that comes from
So it's not that I took my baggage and gave it to the next person because the baggage was no longer there. It's the trauma I experienced that was going through all of these relationships.
Yeah,
And I
your
was doing-
personal.
yeah, my
Yeah.
personal trauma. So I was just collecting trauma is really what I was doing. So when I started to do the work for the healing piece, that's what I did. And that was where I came from with my therapist. I was like, I don't care about these men who've hurt me because that's over. There's no emotional connection at all. I don't wish them and I don't wish them harm. I wish they would leave me alone. I definitely wish they wouldn't text me, they wouldn't call me, they wouldn't ask me, "Oh, do you still have a Zelle account or Cash App?" I'm not a kept woman. Take care of myself. I provide myself. I don't need your money. I don't need your love. I need you out of my life completely. Like you didn't even exist because I'm not the same person I am now that I was when I was with you. So it wasn't that. For me, it was I need to heal myself first. Like it wasn't I need to heal the baggage because the baggage I healed myself.
Well,
on
I
my
meant
own.
like personal baggage, like that, like your
Yes,
trauma, like anything. It's not baggage of one relationship. It's like you're taking whatever issues, like the person that gaslights you, right? The person that manipulates you, the person that does all these crazy things. You see them and you're like, man, dude, you have some major issues. Whatever issues you've had, maybe you've had them since you were a kid. You take them from one relationship to the next, to the next, to the next. That's all you're doing. What you got to do is take time for yourself and heal.
yeah.
But it's
It's like I have to say it because y'all are not letting me talk and it's bothering me. For me,
You're talking. What are you talking
I
about?
know.
I
go give your opinion.
Virgo power, baby.
You let me talk, because if not, I'm gonna explode. No, you can come in, Layla. She told me to. I crawl.
Layla's like, do I go? Or I not go?
But in the situation, and I say it because every time I feel like I made it, I'm healed, I'm ready. I was like, oh shit, I'm not ready. And I say it because I thought I was ready. I remember speaking to Jennifer, and she goes, no, you're good, you're ready. Like you're vibrating in a higher place. Like you're gonna be good. You're gonna be attracting all these things. And then I started working out, and nothing against working out and the oak at all.
I really it's cool.
I started to realize, wait a minute, there's still pieces of me that haven't completely healed. So then I go back and I was like, okay, I've noticed this, this, and this, and this, and this is, and I noticed that I haven't healed in certain places because then I started to meet guys, right? And then I was like, wait a minute, like I'm following in these same little patterns and I need to like retract. One of them I remember said, I'm like, I really believe that I look for men who are like they're not emotionally available because in the back of my head I feel like if it doesn't work, I already knew it wasn't gonna work. So it's really not considered a failure. And then so then my task, or I guess my next homework, was really to forgive myself for allowing the abuse that I went through and the trauma I went through. Like I need to close that chapter to open one.
But
After this, I'm like,
People
fuck that.
really ever heal. I'll be honest. I'm gonna just throw it out there.
I don't think you ever heal.
I know people will probably like.
Yeah, you're never gonna heal.
No, you
That's
think-
a lie. You're always gonna be in pain. You gotta go through the
It's
pain.
something that you lived.
You have to go through the pain and smile.
Because one time I took this big African American dick, and like I still
Well,
remember what.
that sounds like a lot of pain.
Se mamó.
I, still- I wanted to just make you.
Just the facial expression shows pain. And there you have it, guys.
No, so wait. My question was, but
Was it
can
big enough?
gaslighting? Because I like you brought a lot of good points when we spoke about the whole. I think it was a topic for reproductive justice, right? So I was never aware that a man can be raped by another man, even if they're straight. But so can gaslighting be done to a man? Because I like to think that my friends and I over here could have been possibly victims of
You have.
gaslighting.
You have.
100% it happened.
You have. You have.
Maybe my son, my 20-year-old, I think he's like his. I don't know. I feel like that's just gonna be his future. Like he's always gonna be
Really?
gaslighted.
Gaslighting has no
Because he
gender
told-
preference.
Carnal, carnal, eso se le llama chamaquear. Te quieren chamaquear.
Está
Like
bien.
they,
I think
Chamaquear.
everybody has done some form of gaslighting.
Yes.
You just don't realize it.
How
I
has that
tell you guys,
been
I even gaslight my
Like,
own
You
child.
just don't realize.
Yeah.
Like the example.
Wait, Joshua has an example.
I manipulate people, bro, for a living.
Buy me this shit or fucking get.
No, do the push-up, but get the fuck out of here.
What's
I
the
mean,
example?
We gaslight hasta los niños. Ay, es que si no haces tu cama, yo me voy a sentir bien mal. Like, dude,
No, yo me
Well, fucking feel bad how you want. I ain't doing my bed.
el vato.
No, I'm just very. I mean, he's.
No,
20
but
years old, he's
I want to hear an example.
Mijito, y vas a, bueno, llegan a esa edad, 20-year-old, what's wrong with you, mijito? What's wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Pues then he said, pues you're my mom.
That's my answer.
Layla, when we were in high school, you haven't changed.
No, I haven't.
I love Layla.
God, guys, yeah.
To drink with Layla is a blast.
Something real quick. I was gaslighted by society growing up, and
I think we all were. To be honest.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah.
this is before social media, right? So this is back in 2000 when I graduated. Shortly after I graduated, like there was a huge, little rumors here, and Joe knows what I'm talking about, that I was a stripper.
I was like, are we gonna go there? Oh, we're gonna go there. Okay.
I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna put it out there because, guy, even now at this age, that shit still comes up, and I'm 40, gonna be 40.
Hey, you should monetize it. Fuck it. OnlyFans.
OnlyFans.
Make money out of
in
it.
share in Pecan and Ware Road. I was probably 19 years
Yeah.
old, and they said
Remember that?
the one of the I was
Do we need alcohol?
one of the produce guys was like, "Hey,
Yeah.
Layla, we're gonna have a party." I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool." Like I'm a 19-year-old.
Cáele, cáele.
Answer no. I'm like, wait, what? No, I had already heard of the rumor. It became a no, but I never honestly. It really fucked with my head. It fucked with my head because people made it a point to say, I would say I wasn't. Yes, you were. I was never.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Yes, you were. I have a Facebook post that even said, yeah, you were. You were.
Oh my
Like you were a stripper at this place. Could I see the W-2 or something? Or what?
In that case, y'all
So
owe me
I
money 'cause-
probably
The W2, I love it.
I'm gonna put it out there. If I
1099.
Hey, there's no documentation in that shit.
I probably made that place business from that year to God knows when. Like they probably made business just people going just to verify if I worked there.
Hey, you should go get your money
It
then.
really messed with me because I'm like, is that what people think of me? Because I've never given off that, at least me. We all have our own images of our own
Yeah.
definitions of ourselves. Like, okay, I define myself this way. I never felt like I
Yeah.
gave off that vibe. I was a cheerleader in high school. I was outgoing. I was
You were what you said?
cheerleader.
Oh
I
yeah,
was-
definitely. American Pie, yeah. Uh-huh.
El vato.
Good.
Yeah.
I have to say,
Well, you said there.
I do want to say one thing.
Of course.
Nothing.
Felt like I gave off a vibe. Like que andaba con todos. I had my high school sweetheart. Yeah, I kind of had two. All the time.
Oh, no, hey, yeah. Evidence.
I don't even know what-
Social evidence. Social.
I never was like con este, con este, con este, con este.
Ay, mira, qué aburrida.
I
El
was
alfa.
very like I was
Se
very
fue.
like all about getting married, like doing everything right. So for people to say that at I was 18, 19, even at 20 some, even in my 30s, I was sincere shit. Joe, yes, right? I
Yeah.
mean, people were adamant that I did. And I will say it, if I was, nothing wrong with it. And if I had to do that as part of my life or whatever,
Being in my
I'm
40s.
Hey,
I'm so honest that I would have admitted to it.
No, and
yeah.
and I have to say,
That's like
I
that reminds me of me, bro. With like
People
ever since I started working with like coaching girls, like ese vato's joto, bro. That's been like around since whenever. So I would be gaslighting for me, right? Society trying to gaslight me.
dude, guys, they always ask
Yes,
me.
because
They
society always
always
wants to
ask
show you
me
who you
how
are.
big is his dick, and I'm like, I don't know.
If you believe that, but I just started believing people thought that way of me. I mean, obviously, I knew I wasn't, but I
Sorry,
started
just read the
thinking.
question.
So is that the
Okay.
way society or all these people that say when they know me that they're so sure I was. So that's the way they
So
think
mentally, you're
that
already
they think
buying into that
like,
idea.
oh, she's just out there to make money off of whatever. I didn't even have boobs at the time, so I'm like, how the hell would I be a stripper? I didn't have boobs.
Hey, you don't need to have boobs.
I actually
Shut up.
investigated this theory back in the day.
And I found a W.
I would not say what was the reason why,
Abajo el colchón.
because it was a whole legalized issue, and she was, a part of the story. But I actually went down the rabbit hole, and no, she was not contacted by
Te voy a
stilettos.
confesar.
I'm nothing against stilettos. I've done marketing for them before.
Hey, we should host a show there.
Yeah, So she was not there. But
Get a one.
if you're looking for all you can eat ceviche, go to Stilettos on Fridays for only $10, and you can have all you can eat
Let's do
top of the line ceviche.
I know.
Like I would like to share like this is a life no this is a life lesson for everybody here. So
Oh,
assume that this is your lifespan, right? From a 0 to 100 years old, right? Let's assume we live to 100. So for me, I'm 43, right? So let's just cut that off here, which is 43 years old.
does that mean your dick shrinks?
Probably.
Oh my
Sure, what's
God.
up?
I think
Anyways,
I've seen this before.
43, right? So you're 43 years old. I got 43, and at least until 65 years old, you are a competent male, right? So maybe 65 is here. So this is literally all the time I have left to do what I'm gonna do in life. I think that's how a lot of people should approach this because your time is very limited, and you need to experience these things in life. So, like,
Which is why it's hard because I want to experience more of the world. I don't want someone to dim my light and to pull me.
but there's
down.
nothing wrong with taking somebody on that adventure with you, and if it doesn't work, well, fine.
I know.
You are at the liberty
You
to
have
do
give
that.
yourself a chance. It's
Girl,
not
just do it. You need someone. We'll all cooperate and
I
then bring some
know.
guys.
Guys, I propose something. Did you know that on New Year's Eve you can hike, you can climb the Grand Canyon and watch the New Year come in completely sober, or we could do drugs. I'll call ayahuasca. That's somebody out there. Yeah, ayahuasca and mushrooms.
Do the drugs.
Psychologist, I can't do drugs.
So we should take a trip out there to the Grand Canyon and hike it at fucking 11 o'clock at night and experience 2025 come through at that time.
2026.
2026. There you go. I'm a year behind. So
or go to Spain, Valencia, tío.
I've been to
And
I heard they don't have big dicks.
well, I don't know.
Spain.
I wasn't going for that. I was just saying
Oh.
if you want to experience the New Year's. I wasn't talking about you.
He's going.
Yeah.
España. Yo fui en 2012 fui a España y no hay ni un gordo.
No, porque todos
their food is good.
comen patata con aceite de oliva.
Vino, pan y queso. Vino, pan.
Yeah.
I like wine.
And because
Just
they don't have a lot of processed foods and all these
No
things.
red dye.
They also run with the bulls.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta haul ass, you know how you die.
So before
Yeah.
we wrap up this episode number 1 that I hope everybody has liked. I want you to tell me. There's a third component to your topic. What is it, and how do you feel so far? I mean, have you cried about this? Because honestly, so it was a night. It was I don't know.
What do you get out of it?
So
The third component is the importance of leaving a toxic relationship. I've been through a lot of toxic relationships. How I've left them. One of the questions that I wanted to ask you guys is the importance of the people around you. How can they help you? Me, I didn't have the most important person, which is my father, to like get me out of it because it was crucial at the time for him to be present so that he can teach me like, hey, you deserve better. But since I didn't have that example, because my parents' relationship, I'm sorry, it's true, no valía madre. Like they would always argue about money and things like that. So fast forward, it's very important to not isolate yourself from your friends. When you're going through a toxic relationship and people gaslight you and manipulate you, you start to feel ashamed that you're allowing yourself to live it. And you start isolating yourself from your peers, your friends. You stop talking to your mom about your relationship because you feel te da vergüenza. So I wanted to ask you guys, like, the importance of, pero ya me contesté yo sola y ni modo, soporten. Es muy importante. It's very important for you to have people around you, even though that if you're living right now in a toxic relationship, if you know that maybe the person doesn't hit you, he doesn't have to hit you to be violent. I just want to make you sure that you guys know that. It doesn't have to be physical for it to be
I
violence.
think verbal is actually
Abuse?
worse than
Yeah.
physical.
Yep.
Or it can abuse.
That-
There's a lot of things.
That
Make a person
I live that shit and it's true. Words over punches.
Really, yeah.
Al Chile.
This is probably the worst.
So es peor. So if you're going through it,
Oh,
it's
sexual
very
abuse is worse, I would
important
say,
for
but
you
anyways.
Oh, sure.
to reach out to somebody, and you have to be ready for it. I'm not gonna say any names, but I have a friend that she's like, oh, I need help. This person, he's very toxic towards me, but I love him. And I'm like, no, baby girl, you don't love him. You're just giving everything that you don't have. So you can't love someone if you don't love yourself. You can't love someone if you don't love yourself. You cannot.
Eso,
No
mamona.
puedes amar a nadie si no te amas a ti misma. No puedes dar agua si tú estás seca por dentro.
You can't
No
pour
se
from an empty
puede.
cup.
No puedes dar limonada si tú no tienes limones, ¿ok?
Mi amiga tiene
And,
limones.
and keep in mind that this won't always be an option. You will cross a point where you will no longer be able to give water even if you wanted to with your life. Because I'm a nosy bitch. I love chisme. If you call me, I'm all in for it at whatever the fuck time of the day. You call me and I'm ready to hear you. And we lived in California for some time, right? And to me living in California, I fucking love talking to people. You fucking sit me down and talk to me, I will fucking hear you out, right? And so that's why I'm the best salesperson. Oh, hold on. I'm I'm getting a little,
Oh yeah, it's
I'm getting a little bit of weight just in case.
the leg
um,
is tilting.
It's still tilting. So I am in the metro going to work, right? And I made a little friend, and she was always talkative. She reminded me a lot of my little sister because we're the same age. And I don't know why people, when they meet me within the first couple of minutes, they tell me the entire life, and I'm always there for to hear it out. And so at this time, she told me she was in a relationship with a man who really loved her, and that's what I thought of, right? But gradually, over the course of the next 6 months, we took the same train ride to work. We'd even get out in the same stop, and we'd walk together because her office was, I think, 2 blocks before mine. And so I leave her at work, and then I go off, to my job. And so uh it got to the point when one time she came with a big bruise all over her left side. And she wouldn't turn. I noticed she wouldn't turn, and she always wore her hair slicked back. And then I was like, "Are you okay?" Because she was being very different with me. So I'm thinking like, "Yo la cagué." She's already annoyed at me because people get annoyed at me gradually, right? And so I'm like, it's me. I am the one that like needs to shut up, right? So like, I wanted to kind of not talk so much because Joe can talk a lot, and so I didn't really talk a lot, right? But on the way back to the house, we took the same ride, and we always kind of waiting for each other, right? So she was there waiting for me. I said, "Okay, we're friends again." And so she just told me that, and I want to cry. I don't know why, but she did say to me that she was in a very bad argument with her husband over the weekend, and that he beat her up. Now, at this time, I think I'm like 27, 29, 28-ish at the time. And this person is, I think, 19 years old. So she's really, really young. And at this point, she shows me her arm, and her arm is completely bruised. Her breasts are bruised, and she looked horrible. And when I asked her like what happened, the first words that came out of her mouth was, "It was my fault. I made him do this to me."
That's the level of gaslighting that she experienced, and I'm crying. I want to cry because I lived it. It happens. Like it comes to a level where you're like, I provoked him. It was my fault.
You normalize.
I triggered him
You start
and
normalizing.
he became violent, but it's my fault. If I wouldn't have said this, if I wouldn't have gotten into his face and tell him that he was hurting me, he wouldn't do that to me because he loves me and he loves me so much. And this is the things you tell yourself. He loves me so much that he hit me because I provoked him. And I bring out these fucking words, dude. Stop saying them, please. I bring out the worst in him. No, you don't. He is the worst by himself. You need to leave him. You need to know that you deserve better and that you're. Es que también es otra cosa, güey. A nosotros los mexicanos nos enseñaron que ay, ¿dónde está tu media naranja? No, dude, you're the whole fucking naranja, okay? You don't need another
There you
fucking
go.
naranja. You're your own fucking naranja. So stop thinking that es que if I'm by myself, I'm not worth anything because no, güey, no es cierto. No te engañes.
And
Entonces,
I think an
and
important factor to what you're saying, it's called learned helplessness.
okay.
and the thing is that I became so in California. My life was a trip because I my husband and I we just got married, so we were dealing with the honeymoon stage along with that comes with good and with bad, as you guys know. So I had my whole situation at home, right? But did make this person my confidant because I mean I looked forward to every morning seeing her and her telling me this because Jamal and I are best friends, as you guys know, and so I saw Jamal in her in this individual, right? And so I if I could, the times that I could, we had lunch together. Sometimes I would even make her lunch, and I'd share my salad with her. And so I cared for her a lot, and I wish there was so much I could have done because every time that she spoke after that day, it was just like, no, but you don't get it. I provoked him. I got him upset. I fucked up on my own. I know he didn't like, comino, so I put comino in the food or turmeric or whatever it was. And so, and so literally, I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, those are things that's not a strong factor for you to get beat the fuck up the way you are. Like, your eyes literally fucking like shut red. And unfortunately, after I left the company, months of the road, I was told that she had been shot. And last thing I heard is that she passed away. So
On that note, too, February is Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month. I don't know if y'all know that. So 1 in 3 teens will get
Yes.
abused in some way.
In 3 teens.
Oh,
it's
didn't you hear about the guy who got stabbed in Brownsville, the kid? Because the girl broke up with him, and the guy I think the guy punched her. Like he was 20. He punched the girl, and then I think it was in the club, and then everybody just went at the guy, and then he got stabbed and he died. He was 20, bro.
that I mean it's messed up.
Yeah, I think each of us have experienced well, these females. I don't know, guys. I got spit in a guy in my high school.
No, I know friends
Spit in
who
my
are
face.
fucking.
Yeah, it happens to young men, too.
Who spits in your face? Like what guy that you quote unquote love spits in your face, and then you stay with him. So I think once you start normalizing, and I think really, guys, that's where you start. It's very hard as an outsider that's seen, like, let's just say, Manzanita, you've already normalized negative behaviors, and you've already said, hey, him beating me up is my fault, and you start normalizing it. You're making it okay. You're saying, hey, yeah, but you know it's wrong. Deep down, you know it's wrong, but you normalize it. You justify it. You're like, pues, ¿sabes qué? Es por esto,
No,
pasó."
pero ahí te va.
Pero it's very hard as an outsider. So all these, I know we have a lot of domestic violence, different chapter, different,
Levels.
and I know we have a lot of like the battered women's shelters
Mhm.
and things like that. It's very few women that actually end up there because a lot of them end up either like, I hate to say it, like they end up
Las
dead.
matan. Las
or
matan.
they
No, no.
And only
And
like
by the way,
33% of them
to get them
report
out
it.
of it. It's so hard to get them
Yeah.
out of it. It's so hard.
But there's guys, just so you know, I'm here. But once again, this freaking bar I've had in my years that I've been here since 2019, I have had like 5 guys fucked up mentally in their relationship here. And they've told
Oh,
everything.
you've seen
And I
it
was
in
like,
River,
bro,
yeah.
really, bro? You're going through this shit? Where the partner and is like the guys here, like, dude, I don't know what to do, this and that. And she does this and that. And I'm like, I would have never thought. And I was like, I see you all like male, alpha, whatever, but you're a bitch.
And I see more with women that are more educated. Not against women that are educated, because I'm educated. I think we all, we have, but I see it more with women that have degrees or the higher the level of degree. Nothing against it, but you already become you. And I hate to say it. At one point, I got to where I thought like a man. When I was me and my husband had
Soy.
our little separation for a few
Yo
years.
esa.
Oyes, yo pensaba que era pelado. Yo llegaba a los clubs, me compraba mi botella.
Oh.
Yo pensaba, I thought it was a man. And I started treating whoever I was dating like if I was a man, and I back then I didn't know what the hell gaslighting was. I would treat him like shit.
Está
Like,
bueno,
"It's
man. Esa es
bad.
pinche princesa,
Hombre,
man.
yo puedo sola, hombre, no te necesito, tú eres nada." Like it's
Ah.
a psychological
It's
trip.
toxic.
It's a
Yes.
No, no.
psychological trip
The,
until you know you have it.
what I had never
Like I said, every different stage.
Life
you know what I heard from a guy, and I was like, and I'm talking. I'm not gonna say the age because
psychological fuck.
I'll probably give it away, but he literally said the following, and I was like, what the fuck? He was like, I'm afraid that if she starts making more money than me, she's gonna leave me for somebody else. And I was like, bro, what? And this is an adult. Like the guy has kids, and I was like, what the fuck? Crazy. And I would have never. And it's been actually this past year has been 2. And I think I'm 33 or 32. These guys are like,
think.
I think I don't know.
You're
I
32.
don't know my age.
We don't keep track of my
Yeah.
We don't disclose.
So
But anyways,
Got no white hair yet. It's good.
but it was crazy because I never in my world I come from like el vato esto lo otro y girl guys I grew up with domestic abuse. Gotcha. I used to get beat up like hardcore. The girl me like fucked up. I would go to school with scratches and purple eye, and I had to lie that I fell off the bike. That's how I was raised since very little. So all of that you guys are talking about and being a female, I saw my mom get beat up and like from the greñas and everything. I had to stood up in front of my dad, and then it was her, me, and not to talk bad about my dad if you guys know him, like hips changed, but I grew up like that. So right now when you guys start talking about that shit, I'm like I connect to it. So I grew up like, bro, the guys will never, is it the guys? But then in the past few years, I've been like, damn, there's guys that are like the
Edgar,
opposite.
so I have a question for you. Sorry for interrupting you. You witnessed domestic abuse to an individual that you probably love the most in life, which is your
No,
mom.
I didn't witness it. I was part of
So
it.
you were part of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fucking lived it.
Firsthand. So
Oh, and by the way, if you
ha-
guys didn't know this, I wanted to kill my dad. I visualized how to kill my
Yeah,
dad.
there's
It was that intense.
have you been in a predicament in which a person attacked you, a woman, and you thought back of that one experience in life where you were like stood back and you said, "I'm not."
Oh,
I'm
bro,
partaking."
all the time, all the time. I honestly like when I'm talking to girls, whatever, or even clients, and I see my temper, like it kicks in. It kicks in, and it's like I think honestly, my biggest fear. I always say like I'm not afraid of nothing, but I honestly is to ever snap because I had a really bad temper, and it's not anything else. It's like myself. I'm afraid of. I used to get fucked up, bro. Like fucked up. By the way, if you know what's up, you know what's up. I just get so fucked up, and I would always try to fight, but it was really like that other version of me, and that's actually one reason why I was like, I gotta let loose, because I don't know if you guys agree. When you're fucked up, it's really everything that you don't want to do takes over. Whether you want to hold around, fight somebody or whatever, like that's the truth. So that was one of the reasons why I was like, no, because I always wanted to fight, and then. But that's one of the back. I mean, I've gone through a lot of healing and a lot of stuff that I'm like I'm able to control it now. But I've the last time where I really really like had to like whenever I get mad, I just leave because I don't want that to come out because it's in me genetically.
And see,
I
that's
hear you
you're
'cause
scared
that's
of your
me.
dark
There's
side.
that little
that's
person
very important that you
inside.
mentioned that because there's women that, for example, if that person leaves, they're leaving for a reason. Let them go. The argument is over. Don't follow because that's what I would do. I would be like, no, you love me. I love you. Like, let's talk it out. And that person's already like, dude, like, le pegan a la pared para no meterte un putazo a ti, pero ahí vas todavía. Es que espérate, ya cállate la boca, retírate. It's not the time. So, like, porque a mí, mira, yo tenía novios de que me decían, yo nunca le puedo golpear a una mujer. Odio a tu ex que te pegó. Yo jamás lo haría. And it's that dude. Because why? Ahí vas. Ahí vas. Aléjate. No lo hagas. If that person is telling you, hey, I can't, leave them alone. Let them go. Y you'll pick up the conversation in another time. A lo mejor también it's me being gaslighting myself that since I've lived it with a lot of people so many times, it's like, you know what? Okay, yeah, I can't.
So and it's something that I've learned. So I have a friend that you guys have each met, but I won't say who it is. And we've navigated this topic before. and her approach said, un un cuerpo humano es algo sagrado que no se debe tocar en una manera en la cual vas a afectarla negativamente. No le vas a causar dolor, le tienes que, en vez, darle placer, porque un cuerpo humano no se le debe de dar dolor. Cuando a nuestro Señor Jesucristo, and that I'm gonna get religious, I'm not, was being hit, that should tell you that's a don't. You don't touch a human body in any particular form or way that you're gonna hinder or damage that person. So for you to witness abuse of any type, whether it's psychological, emotional, or physical, you can't overcome it ever in life.
Well, like I experienced domestic violence with my parents. When I wouldn't eat, my dad hit my mom, like because I wouldn't eat. And it's like, pues ahorita ya estoy gordita, ahora sí ya claramente ya como,
Vale
¿verdad?
madre.
Pero
Eat whatever.
ahora sí ya me atasco. Pero antes, I was like 15, I was size 0, like all of mi niñez, porque no me gustaba comer. So like, I remember once, like I saw him hit her, like, because, porque mi mamá se ponía like al tú por tú. Ay, güey, porque salen de mis papás, qué vergüenza. Pero
No, we all have. Trust me, we all have.
sí,
shit.
pero pues,
Pero see, if you think about it, all of it manifests from your dad probably don't.
There's
And
a
I hate
book-
to always be the person that always thinks todo, and I'm not excusing behaviors. I'm not.
They're
I'm not excusing-
generational curses.
You gotta break the cycle.
El pa- el-
yes.
You gotta break the cycle.
You just makes you wonder, what did your grandparents or your
Oh no,
Yes,
my
there's a
grandpa.
book- look,
My grandpa used to fuck up my dad. Gacho,
That's what
bro.
I'm saying. Y'all need to watch real quick. Y'all need to watch the movie The Shack.
Oh, I watched it. It's sad.
Watch
Oh
movies,
my
I read
God.
books.
there's a
I'm not
book.
saying you would forgive a murderer because the pretty much the whole thing is forgiving a murderer, right? The murdered child.
Checking Kobe.
But
I know.
but no, like seriously, it just puts a lot of things into perspective. Like, damn, like that person, like you start looking at things in a wider spectrum. Like you don't look at things like, oh, my dad or my mom. Yeah, what they did was wrong, but and I'm not excusing their behavior.
No,
they
no,
don't
yeah.
know any better.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Yes.
what's sad.
And-
They never healed from
Yes.
their trauma.
And I
That
had to.
trauma just goes over and keeps going.
Gacho.
So then
But
there's a
that's why there
book
has to
called
come one in the generation
Yup.
where you
There has to be a
break
brain
it,
breaker.
right? You see it, you're like,
Sí, hay un libro que se llama Este dolor no es mío, and it's also a series in Netflix. It's called Mi Otra Yo. Es de allá de, like it's from another place, but it has like English, Spanish language, so you guys can see it. Pero así se llama Este dolor no es mío, and it helps you identify like what did my grandmother go through during her pregnancy to make my mother the way she is, and what did my mom go through her pregnancies to make me be the way I am.
Biologically, your grandmother carried you.
The what?
Biologically, when we look at genetics and DNA, your grandmother, when she was pregnant with your mom,
She had
because
the eggs
us
and
as
she carried you.
women,
Uh-huh.
we are born with our eggs. Period.
Yes.
Let me rephrase that. All of us, whether you're a female or a male,
Me too.
all of you were born with eggs. And then you form into a male, right? Those eggs go down.
Trump
and
taught me
become-
that.
Daddy Trump.
Like, throw my heel at Josh.
We are leaving. Let's go.
Just waiting here.
Waiting.
Ratings.
No. But
I'm so fucking drunk over this. Because I'm like,
so
take a shot,
drunk.
please.
I was waiting to speak here, man.
so that's fine.
Okay, so we're gonna wrap up the show
Tires, that's it.
because we've processed our 2 hours to our limit. I think I've asked you guys enough questions to provoke you guys, and I think you did too.
I have nightmares tonight.
That's like- that's what you're
You
saying.
get
Yeah, pretty much. But I do want to say thank you for giving it because talking about this, it's never easy. There were so many times that I had to kind of hold back because I don't want to cry because I don't cry cute on TV, on camera. But I do appreciate you guys opening up and talking about your experiences because it's not something easy, even for the guys. I think that we've gone through things in life that by society we're supposed to be okay with it, but it's like we're not okay with it. Don't fuck around, okay? No one
Fuck around and find out.
treated unless you done something shady to me, then I will come around at some point. I have my own little list of those who treated me unfairly. But besides that, I think that we covered a lot of good things.
We did.
It's a never-ending story. We have 8 more episodes to go, and at this point, at any time, things get a little lengthier than usual, we will continue this when we get home through Zoom, and you can totally tune in and watch that.
Book club.
If it's a good conversation that we just have to continue navigating. But Manzanita, is there anything else you want to share before we close?
But that's it. No, I'm an open book. I've always been an open book. I do social media, I do radio, I do lives, and I've always wanted to share my story because there's a lot of young women out there that are living it and they don't even know, and they don't have that friend to be like, hey, this is wrong, or maybe sometimes you have to hear it from somebody else to be able to identify it
Or they're embarrassed.
and
to
not
talk
be
about it to the
embarrassed.
family because they know it's wrong.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
A
So-
good resource is the CAC of Willacy and Cameron counties. They have a whole campaign right now about the teen dating violence and stuff like that.
Me and my mom, hasta queríamos hacer una obra de teatro, mi mamá y yo, because my mom's always been my best friend. I've always like confided with her and everything. Pero pues nunca la hicimos. Like whatever, I've always wanted to do a lot of things, but I never really do them. That's a very bad habit of mine.
that
Pero
note, encourage your mom to be a whore, because honestly, know that she probably only slept with your dad, and that's boring. So, encourage, be like, mom, vete a putear, you know, like.
Al chile.
mi mamá está
Even in
casada.
care.
Mi mamá está
Yeah,
casada.
I know that.
I'm the worst.
Pero mira, por eso
Una arrastrada, mejor
I'm
arrastrada
gonna
que
close
tener-
with this. It's very important for you to live your stages. Vive tus etapas al máximo. Hay muchas niñas que me están viendo que tienen 15 años y ya quieren ser de 25. Güey, vive tu etapa, porque eso te va a ayudar cuando estés más grande a, ay, es que yo no viví, de volada me casé, ay, de volada salí embarazada. No, güey, vive tus etapas, disfruta, sé niña lo más que puedas. Yo todavía jugaba a las escondidas hasta mis 22 años, a la botellita. O sea, yo sí viví mis etapas a lo máximo. Me embaracé a los 26, ya estaba grandecita.
Como dice,
Pero
¿no? La juventud retoña nomás una vez.
sí, pero sí viví muchas cosas intensas que pues voy a estarles diciendo a lo largo de los 8 programas. Gracias por escucharme, gracias a ustedes por compartir sus conocimientos. Yo soy Ale la Manzanita, les mando muchos guapis y cuando quieran bajar de peso ustedes me dicen porque andamos en ese proceso aquí en The Oak. Gracias.
I want to give a huge shout out to our sponsor for the day, which is Wings Rings Texas 83. If you haven't visited them, please go out there to the city of Peñitas. Visit Peñitas because there's a lot happening there. They have some of the best loaded fries with wings over it, guys. It is delicious. If you go and you have a drink
I get
with
you.
those, you gotta be there. I know we're gonna go ahead and film. We weren't able to film there today, but we will go out there and film at some point this episode, one of the episodes along the rest of the 8 weeks. Have a safe week. Don't use condoms. Get abortions, please. Please get abortions. And on that note, have an amazing